Oh
yeah,
my God.
I would
come from across the land to sample my wares.
You were the end blacksmith back then.
That's true. The end smith.
That'd be the miner.
The end smith. Wait, that's actually a really
Yeah.
good one. I could see that on like a ye old sign.
Mid like Dark Souls style ass
Endsmith.
weapons.
Gentlemen, we went Shadow live.
Oh wait.
Nice.
Oh no, I
knew
was in
that.
my chair. Unforge.
Damn. Caught him off guard.
Yes, indeed. It's appropriate because
this, though.
about 1 year ago, 2 days ago, so 367 days ago, in our very first podcast, you were in the chair. So today we celebrate the 1 year anniversary, 28 episodes in. We did it, guys.
Almost one every 2 weeks. Holy crap.
It is.
Not
It's close to
bad.
one every 2 weeks. Yeah, it's not too bad.
Could
Think
be
about
worse.
the before times when we didn't have Dark and Darker.
Those were
I
dark
don't-
and darker times.
I don't
those were-
remember.
Dark times.
It's
Well,
just funny 'cause
greetings,
it has been
all.
about a year.
Pretty
Hello.
wild.
Hello, sirs. Gentlemen.
Shalom.
I kind of miss like the lack of Dark and Darker, like those big 3-month gaps between playtests
Mhm.
where you're just hungry.
What are you guys playing? I don't know.
yeah,
What are
and
you
boss,
playing?
nah, nothing really. Dude, maybe the new
Nothing
Tarkov
to
wipe.
play.
No.
Yeah, I guess.
Sort of sad.
Someone said the words barony. I don't know.
Oh, that was a
Oh,
good
dude,
game.
everyone was on Barony actually during the
Yeah,
playtest.
yeah.
It's funny. There's talks
were
of
the
building
other
a
ones?
Minecraft server, of building Dark and Darker in Minecraft for a while. That was a thought.
Oh, I
Yeah.
remember that guy. Oh man.
There were a
times.
couple other games. Arx Fatalis was one, and gosh, what was the other one? It had, I think, Dark in the name. It was a single player game, but first person dungeon crawler.
Oh yeah, it was like there was some Heroes of
scam game?
Might and Magic or something like that.
Oh no, that
version.
you're right. You're right. It had magic in the name.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about. It was
The,
suggested.
no,
in it. I was
the
just-
Dark Messiah, maybe the Dark
Yeah, I
Messiah.
think
That
that
game,
Might and
that game's
Magic.
old as hell.
Yeah, it was really old. Yeah. But yeah, I remember searching through Steam and everywhere else for something that even resembled Dark and Darker during the downtimes. Yeah, I don't
It
know,
was
Ken. I
really
don't,
hard.
playtests
Yeah.
installed on
There's
my,
nothing to play.
my machine.
If Dark and Darker wasn't here, like I don't know what I'd be playing because even though I am playing Dark and Darker, I'm actively looking for other games to play and try. And
course.
it's not a
Yep.
good time to be a gamer. It fucking sucks.
I don't know, man. Elden Ring DLC, like that would
Alright,
take up a
It's
lot
a bad
of my
time to be a
Like a
multiplayer
week.
gamer.
Multiplayer gaming sucks. Yeah.
Single player games are actually great. There's a lot of good story driven games out there, but sadly they're not
Well,
for me.
there's also rumors about this new Valve shooter coming out. You know, this new hero Valve shooter that
The Deadlock.
Deadlock.
Rumors.
Yeah.
Did you got the information?
Rumors,
Did
yeah.
you get the invite? I had an invite.
I don't know, dude. I don't know. It's crazy. Somebody
I
you
can't
might
talk
have
about
an
it.
invite that somebody might have sent from you. I heard that it's pretty fun and that they spent like 12 hours playing it the other night while their nephew was sick. Is what I heard.
Yeah.
A lot
Because
of
like,
fun, though.
yeah, because I know you probably couldn't talk about it if you did. So like, you
No,
probably heard it
no.
from
If I
somebody
was
else.
involved, I would never talk about it. But
Yeah.
the person,
Valve
Like,
is
they told
super
me
strict
about
about that stuff. Yeah.
they're very strict. You can't literally invite anybody that is on your friends list to play the game.
So what about shooters? On the topic of shooters and new FPS games,
Yeah.
has anybody tried that new the Shroud game, the split one? I forgot what it's
I
called.
haven't played it. It looks cool. It looks
I've
like
watched-
Borderlands
Mm-mm.
shooty.
I'm not a big shooter guy, but it looks really cool. And if Shroud's behind it, I'll probably give it a test at some point. I know I applied for the beta.
I didn't
Think it
apply
looks
for it,
like-
but yeah, I actually might want to. I didn't realize you could. I would go check it
Spectre
out.
Divide. That's what it's
I'm gonna
called.
do
Yeah.
a hot take, and I'm gonna say it looks fucking awful. It just looks like
That's
some
fine.
weird remix of Valorant, some 3v3 arena that's gonna be popular for like half a second and then go away. It looks like they
It's
just took
every single
Counter
one of
Strike,
them.
combined it with Valorant, and there's so many of those out right now that they're just starting to become like crayons. Like you open the box and you just choose one.
I
I-
kind of soft agree. You definitely got to like do something to separate yourself from the other
Yeah.
ones. You can't just compete with Valorant. You can't compete with Counter Strike straight up. You're just not going to win. Sadly, that's why Diablo can't make a new game because you're competing with PoE. Like, sure, you can make Diablo 4, you're gonna fail. All right, you're
Diablo
never going
competes
to be
with
better.
itself
Yeah,
as well.
that's it. Yeah, you're never going to be better than Diablo 2, which is
Right.
funny.
There's still the pros of that, but for that new game, I think that's the one with the opping that you can bounce bullets. Is that the one?
It's
can
one where you
literally ricochet
control
op.
2 characters, and I think there's ricochets. Yeah, there's some cool stuff.
Yeah, I mean that's
Interesting.
new. Splitgate 2 also on the topic of new things, new shooters or whatever. But I feel like they're they're doing a lot of cool stuff. Splitgate was always cool because of portals. It was just Halo with portals. Now they added like heroes and factions, and I'm kind of immediately turned off by that idea because all I wanted was Halo with portals. It just was really cool to shoot a portal over there, shoot a portal over here, kind of like peek through the portal and getting angles on people. That shit was, there was so
fun.
much, like the skill ceiling was beyond comprehension because you could like portal from area to area and keep like jiggling in and out of your portals and move across the map in a half a second, get flanks on people. It was kind of like how Dark and Darker has a lot of map awareness and knowledge. If you knew where to slap portals out, you were across the map just completely flanking everybody.
What if Dark and Darker had that? What
Oh,
if
I was
Wizards
just
had
thinking that.
Yeah.
Oh, I mean, that'd be all it's super broken. But
Maybe they should
wand.
add like little mini teleporters from one end of the map to the
Yeah.
other. Or maybe like
That's actually not a bad idea.
Teleport.
Yeah, and it goes on cooldown for like 10 seconds. So you can maybe like kill one if they just decide to use it without, I don't know.
A
Hear
soul
me
gate, a soul
Hear me
gate.
out. A
Wait
soul
minute.
gate, and it's green instead of red or blue, so it differentiates itself.
Mhm.
Green is pretty fucking distinct, and you'll walk up to it. It'll open. You go through it. It closes, and then it waits 10 seconds, pops up again. It moves you across the map.
It can be in the new Ruins map. Go from like
Mm.
one corner to the other. Or it
That's like
only
random
appears
shit.
after you kill a mini boss, like the golem or the cockatrice or whatever, and then it activates, and then you can go through it. It takes you to like
Go to
the other
mini
one.
boss even.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Soulgate got to sacrifice a teammate to open it. Sorry, chat.
All right. Well, I'm
Worth.
fucked.
Worth.
you run res, it's fine.
Yeah.
Man, my chat
You
said
guys
it's just
are
gonna
onto
be
something.
landmine rogue heaven. Just two rogues just sitting there the whole match.
Just traps near all the portals, actually.
Oh, his
Nah,
favorite
dude.
thing.
Rogues and traps ruin everything. It always comes down to this, dude. Holy
God
shit.
damn it. It's
What
just
are we-
unfun mechanics, dude.
5
that
minutes
need to be
in?
removed ASAP.
Yeah. Well, do we
That's the
start
burn.
with that? Well, let's talk to the good people of the chat here real quick and YouTube later. So it is our 1-year anniversary edition, and good ideas deserve to be repeated. I think we're going to take a page out of the Darkest Hour playbook and do a lot of yapping this podcast that's not necessarily centered around Dark and Darker for once. I think we've, for better or for worse, mostly for better, been pretty radically different from some of the other podcasts out there. I mean, at first it was just the Darkest Hour. Now there's several. And ours has always been very, very focused. I've gone back. I'm a masochist. I've gone back and watched some of our older podcasts, and I couldn't really find one where we get off topic for more than like a minute or two. And I dig that. And I also love the Darkest Hour podcast because Soma is a treasure trove of stories. And Jay could talk about bears and food for days on end. And when Donnie was on there, rip to Donnie on the podcast, episode
Donnie.
69 was just last week.
Good one to leave on the 69 for sure.
Yeah,
He
that
probably
was a good
planned
one,
that.
yeah.
He planned that for
Smart.
sure.
It was
Smart,
awesome.
Donnie.
It was
We
awesome.
also
But yeah,
coming.
because of that comp that they have going there, they always do a really good job of blending commentary and storytelling and talk about the game. But we're going to switch gears today and do a little bit more yapper style pod and talk off topic for a little bit. But I do think since it did only take 3-5 minutes to talk about traps and rogues, maybe we go ahead and kick off with a little bit about the patch and the state of the game, and then we'll dive into some random lifestyle questions. Chat, if you guys have non-Dark and Darker related questions, please throw them out there. We'll try to get to them.
Trying to save the good ones.
Mhm.
But a pretty small patch, right? We had. Well, those are big patches. A lot of words in the patch.
Mm.
A lot of words in the patch, but there's only really a couple things that actually matter. Those like a lot of VFX fixes and stuff. But the big nerfs were just like the 200 weapons. I don't even think we have to talk about it. They're too strong. What I actually want to talk about the patch is the biggest thing, in my opinion. I know N Boss is a big advocate of it, but it is like the new matchmaking changes. The
Mhm.
fact the pregame lobby is gone. That's the first part we'll talk about. The pregame lobby is gone, and now every time I load into a game, I have no idea what I'm up against, and I fucking love it. I
Yep.
love it. maybe just go down the line, just talk about just that part of the matchmaking before we talk about the other part of the matchmaking, and like the good and the bad and you guys' experience. Maybe we'll start with So Bad because he has a mouthful, and I want to
Yeah, immediately.
I mean, I've been a big advocate for removing lobby for a long time. It's really bad for streamers. It's really bad for anybody who wears any sort of gear. Good example. This is like a week ago, maybe a week and a half. I brought in 150k Echo of Screams Barbarian kit. Dude runs up, sniffs me in the pre-lobby. I kill like a 50k Warlock 1v1. I'm over on the corner of Goblin, just waiting for the gate to open. I've got his 50k in gear, all his Grim Smiles, all the juice, the Legos. And here comes a Barbarian around the corner. Have a good 1v1. I kill him. 2 dead men, corner of the map, right in front of the Goblin, static extract. Not the main one, the one like way over in the corner. And here comes 3 men running at me, all together right next to each other. And they go, there he is, Echo of Screams. I start fighting them. A 4th guy comes. I get killed. And I just think, God fucking damn it, dude. Like this gear sniffing, dumb bullshit. The first time I wear a Giga kit, I get deleted by pre-teamers or teamers or whatever you want to call it. Pre-lobby
Cool.
being gone, fantastic. Way better. The only thing they can do to make it improved is allow us to like function and sort our own stash or whatever when we're queued. But random matchmaking, fantastic. I actually have a really hot take, and I think that solos right now is actively unplayable. Multiple gimmicks exist, and this rock, paper, scissors is just absolute total dog shit for one class to be able to just be like, I just beat you because I spec different, or I have this and you don't have this. Not good for solos at all. And so because of random matchmaking, I can now just drop in duos or trios, and I think it's really, really good for the game. It's like instant. You can do quests. I got to level 1 to 15, and all my teammates stay near me. Maybe like the lack of comms or like knowing their randoms. Everyone sticks together. You have like good fights. People are engaged. They're enthusiastic. I haven't had a single bad experience in random matchmaking of like the 50 matches I've played this weekend. So overall, incredibly good direction for the game, and it's going to be really, really good for the upcoming wipe.
I couldn't agree more. What about you, my
Yeah.
boss? I know.
Piggybacking on that, yeah. I literally spent 12 hours just random matchmaking nonstop, back to back, every single map, going just trios, bringing in the new players. It felt so amazing to queue in, to have some guy be a level 1, no shoes, no helmet, no gloves, just kind of spinning in circles, dropping him a couple of potions, getting the Timmy Crouch spam joy. Oh my goodness, absolutely incredible. And I mean, we're talking as new as these players are going to get. This is probably the only successful run they're going to see for the next 2 months. This guy, one of the matches I got him in, I dropped him a couple of potions. It took him forever just to get him to realize that they were potions. But the moment he got them, just starts slamming them back one after the other. And I'm just like, oh, you precious little bean, you. Oh, he would, natural selection would have swept him away in a heartbeat. He was in the ice caves and trios by himself. But with us by his side, managed to get him through the map. And we got out, and I felt this wonderful warmth of joy. And I've been doing that, taking people bossing. Plus, I did even, I don't know if this is against policy or whatnot, but I did invite if people wanted to. I was like, whatever, I'm queuing up on US East. If you guys want to jump in, I don't give a shit, and like it gives people the opportunity to kind of fight to get into the matches. And if they're fighting to get in, they're usually just they want to do quests or boss with you too. So it's been just like, it's been amazing vibes the entire time. I've had nothing but amazing experiences with it. None of that weird team killing and, just everything's been so positive with random matchmaking. I can't get enough. It's been a blast.
Oh, for sure. I've had nothing but great experiences so far. But I'm curious what Arcane has. Have you gotten time to dabble in?
So first off, I think I'm going to echo exactly what you're going to say, which is the removal of the base camp just adds a new level of suspense that I used to feel when the playtests were around. Because playtest time, there was no, the base camp existed, but it was insta-queue, right? Like you got in there and there wasn't, I don't even think there was a countdown timer back then. You just went into the base camp and then it would just snap you in and you would hear the boom and then you'd be in the dungeon.
That sounds so iconic, by the way. Just a little side tangent. That boom when you enter the game is like
it is.
I have dreams about that sound. Just
if it never goes away, I will cry.
Yeah, they need to keep that forever. No, you're good, man. So that feeling for me is kind of back. I love not knowing what the hell I'm getting into. I could be in a lobby that only has 2 other teams, 2 other players, or I could be in a completely full lobby and not knowing. See, I was a inspector boycotter or inspect boycotter. I did not inspect a player more than, I don't know, twice this year probably. I'm so glad that it's gone. Secondarily, I'm really, really glad. I haven't used random matchmaking a lot. I accidentally queued in once, and there was another guy right next to me, and I kind of freaked out and then realized that I was still in duos. And then he ran off and died like super fast. I felt kind of bad because he didn't have VoIP. But yeah, so the feature that allows you to get your gear returned to you, so the preventative measure for team killing, that was just chef's kiss that they had the foresight to address that issue before putting that out there. So yeah, I have nothing but good things to say about it, and I'm really glad to hear that you guys are digging the random matchmaking.
Not for sure. Like I said, it's probably the best thing they've done in months, if not years. I think it's just makes the game so much better. Just to talk about like the removal of base camp first. I think it was a couple of weeks ago. Me and my friend Anugi, we got into a match. Then we went to the pre-game lobby. We saw these Super Juice players had Fulgor, had Pestilence, had Spellweaver. I made a whole video on it. It was a really sick raid. But since we knew that they were in our game, we just spent the entire game hunting them down, looking for them for 11 minutes. We finally found them at the end in like the corner of the map, killed them, got their stuff. Awesome for us, but like sucks for those guys, right? Like if we didn't know that they were in there with that kind of gear, we wouldn't be actively checking every mod or trying to find them, hunt them down. We just play the game normally, which it just like creates this artificial weird feeling in a game. And now that's gone. And like just the other day, now there is no matchmaking. It was yesterday actually, or the day before. I was just playing solos as a wizard, going in solos, playing solo wizards pretty hard sometimes. Had no idea who was in my game. All of a sudden, I see a barbarian scream, fucking breaks the door in front of me, and she's in full frost, fucking stinky stick. And I'm like, holy shit! The stink. I got so excited, terrified, but also excited. I had no idea this guy was in my game. I've been in the game for like 7 minutes. I've killed 3 people already, and now I have this barbarian running me down with the stinky stick. Ended up killing me, whatever. But just like being surprised was refreshing. I'm just happy, even though I died and lost. The fact that if I knew he was in that game, I would play totally different. I probably would kill him, and I probably would take his shit. And sure, it resulted in me dying, but the game is better because of it. I had a more fun experience. And then after I died, he actually got third party by a druid, ended up losing it, which is funny. And then, actually, to carry on to that story, the next day I was playing autofill and LFG in duos, and I got a random duo on my team, a druid player. We ended up wiping the entire lobby. Really chill guy. I think it's him started with a V. Don't remember him. But he was talking about, like, he was like giving me loot. He didn't know who I was. He was just giving me loot. He's like, yeah, I had this huge come up earlier. I hit this crazy third party. I killed a guy with a stinky stick. And it turned out that the guy that was on my team was the guy that third party the game the day before.
Was it Voltrex?
That was him. It was him. Yeah.
He's in chat right now.
Yeah, that was very, very cool. Very cool
awesome.
Interaction.
Right on.
That's a good
Small
story.
world. But yeah, the matchmaking is great. I've been playing nothing but LFGs, like 124 lobbies. You get a good mix of, like, there's plenty of veteran players at Cube that are just trying to, battle and have fun. You definitely get your Timmies. And everyone has been nice. I have not had one shithead out of like hundreds of games, which is weird. What was that side for in boss?
I did have one experience, but it's not like they were malicious. They just to speed through the whole thing. They weren't new players. It was like another TTV guy, whatever. We go down to Inferno. We're fighting the boss, right? We're fighting Lich and normals. And another squad comes out, hands up, runs over, starts helping us with the boss. I'm like, cool. Guys are great. Whatever. We killed the boss. Everybody sits down. Campfires. Great. They go into the loot pile room. I'm sitting there at the campfire. And one of the guys turns on Flame Walk, phantomizes, runs around the room, comes outside of the loot pile room, closes the door, and just starts spamming Hellfire and those guys inside the room. And I was like, oh, fuck me. Come on, man. So I just ran to the extract. I've turned off Wipe and just ran away and jumped into the portal. I was like, I don't want to be associated with that shit. Like, they were already friendly. Like, Betrayal, play the game how you want. I just don't want to be a part of that. Like, not that level. Like, we killed the boss together. They could have jumped us, all this nonsense. I was like, I'm not cool with that. That's the only negative experience I had. And that's not even a negative experience. Play the game however you like, betray however you like, be very safe in the dungeons.
Yeah, I've been pleasantly surprised. Like the fact that that's your worst encounter is a
Yeah.
testament to how good it's been, and it's so funny because I've been advocating for this random matchmaking for months. I rant about it fucking at least once a day on stream, and now that we have, and everyone would always say, yeah, but like people suck, and everyone's gonna be a piece of shit, and they're just gonna
Be
team kill
screaming at
you
you.
and take your shit. They're gonna yell, they're just gonna slur all the time. I'm like, you gotta have a little bit of faith in humanity. Most people that play this game like are not that bad. They're just people that want to have fun. Sure, there are outliers. There's the loud minority of people that that you see on Reddit that make their posts and that seem like awful people. But that's not your average gamer. And your average player just wants to load in, hit that play button, meet some people, and just have fun playing video games. And that's kind of what we got now.
Yep.
Super
Well said.
awesome.
All right,
But yeah,
so
that's my rants. Yeah.
because nothing is ever good enough, what is the next evolution of matchmaking? What would you like to see to make it even better?
Easy.
Is it League of Legends?
I'm interrupting you.
Is
No,
it
he's
He's
League
already
of
hitting the
Legends?
bell, man.
Yeah. All right. Go
Yeah,
ahead.
you get
What is-
you get rid of solos. We don't need them anymore.
Okay, I'm actually on the board, dude. As a solo
Ooh.
player,
Hot take. I like it.
when we transfer this game onto consoles, which is inevitable, they talked about it a long time ago, wanting to bring it out, especially if we have crossplay and random matchmaking crossplay. Solos don't need to exist anymore. I actually think it's fucking horrible for the game. I talked about it earlier. I think it's really imbalanced right now, almost more so than ever, in solos specifically, which is weird because not a lot has changed, but just enough to make it where I'm just constantly having an unfun experience. Step in a trap. Like I had Artifact, stepped in a trap, negative 150k. Some shitter with a spear just like 3 taps me in the head because he played like shit. He missed 99% of his arrows. Another one, I had like 5 bad experiences today. Like the trap is one, and then I specifically built a rogue to have traps and locks so I can see them. And dude misses like 80% of his arrows, but since knockback lasts 8 seconds and it goes in a straight line, he hits 3 out of 4 on the quad shot. I'm knocked back like 75 feet, and then he hits a headshot and I die. And I'm chasing a rogue as barbarian, and he double jumps up on top of statue. And I'm just looking up at him, and I'm like, what the fuck is this game, dude? Like, I am a barbarian. I cannot get this guy. So now I cannot play in this module at all. Transfer over. A ranger has 6 traps down. He's just sitting there. I'm like, okay, cool. I can't play in this module either. And so, like, these things that don't normally affect duos or trios dramatically affect solos. And so I'm with Ken here. I think we just remove solos. You would make SDF happy. You would make the balancing team happy. If it's this fast and this reliable to queue with randoms, solos and duos, maybe not duos, maybe duos and trios stakes. I actually find duos is probably like the most balanced game mode.
Yeah.
I'm for it, man. Like you literally just drop in. And the other thing I noticed when playing my brand new ranger is that a lot of people aren't questing. So like if I just start killing mobs and like they kill mobs, I get like so many quests done by just looting bones and goblin ears, like the shit nobody cares about. Once you start a new character in your random matchmaking, it's so
it's pretty
good.
late into the wipe for the questing aspect.
That's
so
true.
Once I think next wipe hits, we're gonna have people that are like, oh, I need bones and oh, I need this, and if you find any water, it's gonna be crazy for next wipe.
But it's gonna be cool, right?
Timing.
Yeah, like it's so good. Like people are gonna be communicating, like, hey, I need a water pot. Oh, like I need like a bone dust or whatever. Like,
yeah,
the other part.
Nice.
Sorry.
I was going to say the other part of it is like not just suggesting removing solos is like to get rid of a queue, but if you think about what we're talking about, because I know there's going to be like, no, don't remove solos. Removing solos also means, hear me out, we can get rid of the rotation. Like we have the matchmaking without solos queue kind of soaking up a bunch of players additionally. Now you have, no, I don't have to wait for the matches to cycle. Literally just queue into the game mode that you want, fill whatever you want, and get started. And High Roller gets more players too because less matchmaking in the solo queue and more people forced into it. I feel like it benefits in general everything. But yeah, not the solo players who want to just go in and ignore everybody. Just no fill into the duos. Then I guess is really don't PvP.
I mean, there's people that do that already. There's people that just want to play by themselves that'll just queue into duos. I've had guys that go into queues like, yeah, I'm just like here doing my own thing. I was gonna go kill the troll. If you want to come, like, sure, come go for it. But this is what I'm doing. And I'm like, all right.
I left no fill on or whatever. I just wanted to go get, if somebody wants something, I'll help them out. But there's just random. Like I got a lot of Chads in my lobbies as well that were just doing whatever, not necessarily bloodthirsty. They were just playing the game. They wanted to play the video game. There was
it's been
there was
funny
a
because
sad
like
instance.
sorry,
Go ahead.
I started cutting off, but like the bloodthirsty comment kind of reminded me that I've been playing a lot of cleric and solo or in autofill and like building just magical healing, as much healing as I can get, advanced healer, kindness, over healing, and I get into these games with these new players, like these new barbarians, these very Timmy fighters, and they just like don't have confidence. And just being the
Yeah.
cleric, I'm like, just go in, bro. I got you. Just fucking get in there. Yeah, I'm right behind you. I'll heal you, and then they fucking die, whatever.
Yeah.
but then I have res, so that I clutch, that I res them, and then they have a good time. And sorry, just like you talking about the bloodthirsty parts, is these people have like not played with real teammates for
They
probably
just
however
died.
long they've been playing. Yeah, they don't know what's like how it feels to actually have people who know how to play like on their team, and now they can
Yep.
just get that by queuing up and getting somebody like me or End Boss or so bad on their team that'll help them. This is like another part of another rant.
You're
but-
here too. Yeah, you can help out Arcane.
Shit.
Sometimes you get into queues
Jeez.
with people.
Chop liver over here, man. Holy
sure
he's there.
cow.
Well, Arcane's the guy getting the help. He's getting the advice,
Oh, there.
Unreal. Unbelievable. No respect.
but
This
what
is
if
the anniversary edition too.
Damn.
I'm so
Perfect.
sorry. I'm so sorry. But I guess
One more year. One more year.
But I was thinking about this with the LFG. Like now that we have this LFG matchmaking, what if they could find a way to tie this in to the knight system that they have, right? If you could be a knight, you can queue specifically alone in like knight queue, and then people that are requesting a knight will queue into you, and it's all baked into the
Yes.
game where you don't have to go through the Discord. And like people that need help could queue for a knight. They get fucking knight end boss, knight arcane, whoever, knight can, whatever. and then they
My
have questions,
application
they
was
could ask.
denied. I'm sorry. So
Yeah.
I
actually
think you
just
were part
reminded
of that
me.
committee, apparently.
Let's
Dude,
see.
you just reminded me. I got accepted. I was supposed to interview. I was like messaging the guy, and I was like, "Yeah, today's great." And I was like, "Sounds good." And then I hadn't heard anything back.
Yeah,
So
Apparently, it
I
wasn't
should be
great for
knighted.
him.
It wasn't great.
I
Yeah, hope
should
he's
be
okay.
knighted, says
You should
Alex.
hear. I got a story when we're all done with the Dark and Darker stuff about my day. Okay, I'll tell you.
Like the rest of
later.
us have our swords up and crossed. Like the aisle is available. You just gotta walk down it.
yeah, it just feels like a no-brainer because like people like End Boss, just an unofficial knight per se,
Yeah.
Yeah.
out there doing the
Good
Lord's
idea.
work, being very knightly, even though doesn't have the title. And if there was just a queue for
Probably did
that,
a lot more.
or just some way where people that need help could just get into games with knights easily by just hitting a button, it just
Yep.
feels like it would
Oh
go
my
so
god,
far.
that would be
That's a
so
good idea.
cool.
Yeah.
Oh, I would do that all day.
Yeah,
It's a great
you
idea.
already are. You already are.
I already am.
So what about requesting or specifying a preferred role for your
Nah.
teammates? So League of Legends style, do we have a want or need for that kind of thing, or do we like the complete randomness that we have now?
I thought
Completely
about
random.
it, but I kind of like the random. Like there's obviously going to be meta comps that are good. I think this problem could be solved just alternatively by adding this. By you just have your LFG queue, and you playing against other people who are in LFG teams, and then you have your just pre-made queue where it's just pre-made teams fighting against other pre-made teams. You just separate the LFGs from the pre-made, so you're
It'd
not gonna
nice to
be an
have them
LFG.
slightly split. Yeah.
You're not going to be queuing into like this pre-made super geared buff ball as an LFG like triple rogue team. You're it's going to be randoms against randoms. That's what League of Legends does, by the way, in like Counter-Strike and stuff.
Yeah, it's like
Yeah.
what is it? Up to three players is considered not
two now.
stacking.
Yeah.
Two now? Okay. So it's up to 2 players. Once you're over 2 players, you're stacking players, and I like that, but I think it'd be better to just leave it loose, like, oh, I don't want to have a 3-minute queue, so let's just slap in one buff ball with like we can mix and match. I won't mind. I like
Yeah.
the randomness.
It's
of the
fine
dungeon.
now. But just to add on to like if we did get rid of solos and we could say
Yeah.
all those players all of a sudden now we're lowering the amount of queue splitting, and then you could split it in this other direction. Just like I thought, I'm not like 100% like ride or die on that idea. It's
Mm.
just like an idea
Mhm.
at least.
Yeah, agreed.
Yeah.
Same. Anything else notable about the patch?
Let's see. I'll read these real quick. I mean, I love the two-handed changes, like the nerfs.
Bardage isn't enough.
they-
Bardages.
They have been the most overpowered thing in a while. So I talked about this time. Iron Mace does this thing, right, where they look at stats and they see that weapons are unpopular, and they interpret that as them being weak, right? Halberd doesn't see a lot of play. Bardiche didn't see a lot of play. Double Axe didn't see a lot of play. It doesn't mean that these weapons are weak. It just means that like shields are strong, and so they buffed them all.
Or even the swing pattern's a problem.
Yeah.
Like they look specifically at damage. I know what you're saying. Like they're like, this isn't used, therefore it just needs to hit harder. And it's like maybe the swing pattern is such a significant pile of shit that there's no reason to ever wield this over something that I know I'm going to strike with, you know?
Mm-hmm. Then they buffed all the weapons, and then now it's like just Barbarian running you down with Bardiches. And Bardiche is like sleeper been the best weapon in the game for like months, just no one used it.
That second range attack is just you poke from across the map.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's crazy.
Or the second swing on there, you down and then just boop.
Yeah, Chris Dagger animation changed 4 times. Yeah, they love cheating the Chris Dagger, but they won't touch. They won't touch the double axe. It's crazy.
Or the battle axe.
Or the battle axe. I've been
it's one of those things.
I've been rocking the Echo streams. I have an Echo Streams kit.
Echo's so good though.
Oh, it's so good. It's the only good
one
battle
of
axe.
the best
It's the only way to use it.
It is a really good battle axe.
Yeah. 20 true damage. Holy.
That's so much.
Yeah, it's crazy. But yeah, that's just my little rant about the two-handed weapons changes. It's not like a huge change. Just they lowered the movement speed and the damage, and it's not enough. Barbarians are still crazy strong. They have to nerf them more.
Yeah.
But I don't think it's a weapon issue. I think it's just barbarians are just too fast.
Yeah, it's the move speed problem. Again, it's always back to the move speed and the range of poke. And then hitting somebody with the slow debuff means that you're going to hit your second attack, and the barbarian is already it's a compounding problem.
And it's also like it's like a problem in solos, right? Barbarians crazy good in solos. They're very good in duos. They're pretty weak in trios. It's like this dichotomy where you just can't balance your game at all 3 brackets, which is why I've just been all for getting rid of duos or getting rid of solos now that we have LFGQ. Because like what's balanced in solos will never be what's balanced in trios, and vice versa. You're always going to have this weird dynamic where if it's weak in one, it's super broken in the other, and there's no way you could fix both at the same time. And it's probably a nightmare for SDF and the rest of the Iron Mace team to have to deal with it. So, you know.
Yeah, one of the things, like in the earlier playtests, they used to talk about what classes were strong and what classes were stronger it would change over the course of a match, right? Like at the very start, a wizard with all of his spells versus, a full health cleric is going to be a crazy battle. But as the match goes on, they get less and less effective unless they've replenished all of their abilities. Barbarians are pretty much, if they have health, they are the most dangerous thing. A full health barbarian, I think, is the most dangerous thing you're going to fight in a 1v1. And so a barbarian that can just constantly go to 1v1s with full health because they got potions, they're topping themselves off way quicker between fights. Like it becomes a problem because the barbarian is, he's the one thing in the match that is very dangerous at the very beginning and also even more dangerous at the end. It doesn't change. His danger level is constantly high. And it's even more available for them because of the potion and health and everything else. They're just sitting at like almost 90 to 100% health for every single engagement that they're in. So it's just stacking everything together. Barbarians in a 1v1, you don't want to trade it, You don't tug on Superman's cape. You don't 1v1 a barbarian with full health.
Yeah. Like I fell into the trap where I was playing solos and like I was dying to barbarians a bunch. I was like, I'm just going to play super high PDR cleric with 150 HP. I'll just 1v1 these fucking barbarians. Nope. I'm the 65% PDR, 150 HP with a unique Warhammer. And I'm still just getting 3-shot by Bardiches that have no armor pen. I'm like, how does this math even work? I'm like, he has no armor pen. And that's pissed me off.
And they keep you at arm's length because you just can't reach. Yeah, it's a staggeringly painful experience. If you don't, like, whenever people come by and they're like, I'm losing my ones in a full plate cleric to the barbarian, I'm like, you either open up with at least 2 holy strikes and then get some distance and then get 2 swings in and then maybe think about engaging with all of your buffs up. But you never just go, I'm going to trade this guy and win, because you don't trade a barbarian and win. Not in Melee. That's what they do. And
the
now
worst
they do
part
it
is
even better than ever.
their lack of gear. Like when you see like a lizard without a helmet and without a chest piece, and they somehow beat you, and I'm like, dude, he doesn't have any fucking gear on. Can you please punish this guy? Like he's playing like shit, and he still gets to beat me, even if I play perfect. Like that's the one part where when you say like cleric loses, or like if they're just like running around, you're just waiting, and they're just praying they run into a third party or they get somebody in a corner. And like Ken said, I think it's mostly a solos issue.
Yeah, like I said, they're way more manageable. Like they're very strong in duos too. But like the more players in the team, the more manageable they get. Because
I agree.
They're very simple. You know what they're gonna do, And when there's more players on the team, there's more players that can solve that problem, which is why I think
Right.
like,
More
three of
pressure,
those
more
solos-
threats, more
Yeah.
targets. Even confuse the
Mhm.
barbarian brain.
Yeah, they're very small brains.
What do I hit? What do I hit?
That's funny. What else was in this patch?
What
I don't
else?
even know.
Crystal Sword animation change was prior to last patch, right?
Yeah, we ranted about that one plenty.
Yeah, we did a little rant about that. The first swing definitely hurts. The second two, I feel like, are okay. Feels a little snappier, but definitely the distance hurts.
Season rewards. They nerfed the Copper Lake gear. I guess we can talk about that for a bit. That was a big
Oh, yeah.
change.
Yeah, that's
That
a good
was
change.
That was a super nice change. I've said for a long time. Move
Yeah.
speed is the best stat in the game,
Mhm.
and just having it on pieces for free is broken.
Yep.
It's still
Greens can't be abyss.
Yeah.
And I think Iron
Yeah.
Mace realized that.
Yep.
So to
Good
clarify, I
change.
didn't read that part. It was just a move speed change to Copper Light.
instead of 1% for pieces,
half move
0.5.
speed. Mhm.
Okay. Because when they said it was nerfed, I was like, did they fuck with the move speed? Because they should fuck with the move speed.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I'm glad that
Yeah.
that's the only thing on there that's a problem. It's
Mhm.
just a problem in the game.
Should just be something that else does not move speed. Fucking make it
Yeah.
something, some other stat, whatever.
I mean, that's also why, like Chad brought up, is the fact that barbarians are so strong right now, because when you bring the movement speed cap down to 330, you now have like boosted barbarians that are still achieving MS cap on a 9% move speed ability, where like they basically just get to be cap for like 10 seconds, and if they have buff duration or like treacherous lungs, it can be even longer, and so you just cannot get away.
Yeah, but the cap was
Unless you're also
350.
MS
They would
cap.
just be 350 then. They're still like comparatively, they're the second fastest class in the game, right? It's like rogues and barbarians.
Maybe
Because-
Rangers. Might
maybe
be like
Rangers?
Rogue, Ranger, Barb. Yeah.
Yeah, but point being, they're like towards the top no matter what.
Mhm.
So like they would benefit a lot from the cap going higher, because like there's plenty of barbs that are running around at 330 that would love to just be able to be 340. You know, not to mention once 350's back, now buff ball barbarian. Now you have 350 barbarians with bards and wizards buffing them, getting them in there. That's when it gets to be a problem, I think, anyway. But who knows? No, you know, barbs have never been strong historically, especially not
No,
one.
no.
Yeah,
Oh.
no.
They've always had it rough. Yeah.
It's hard out there for this.
Buff Barb.
Well, any lingering thoughts on the game, or should we transition into non-dark and darker talk?
Oh, but you could definitely transition. I just want to say I've been having a lot of fun this season. This has been probably one of the best seasons of Dark and Darker I've been a part of. There's been ups and downs, but like balance is good. I've been engaged fully for almost 3 months. I've done like 2 quests, you know me. But just the game is just super replayable. I play it fucking 8 hours a day every day, and I'm just have not been bored. So
I want to play other games. I do. I really do. I
Yeah.
fucking want to go back to like GTA RP. I want to go mess around and play first-person shooters. Maybe that new title that's coming out eventually called Deadlock that no
The
one's
one with
allowed to
the
play or
Valve one?
talk
Yeah.
about. The Valve one, yeah, that I've heard about, but only heard about.
yeah,
third
lock
person.
something. Yeah.
Yeah, lock and loaded. But yeah, it's basically I always come back to Dark and Darker, and I kind of hate that because I was so excited to get in and try that matchmaking change. Like I was like, okay. Like I don't like. I love playing with So Bad. I love playing with Katie and
Oh, you don't.
Ken and Jay. Okay, go fuck yourselves, all of you. You bastards have killed me and stabbed me in the back for the last time. It's the Dark Cleric Rising. Anyways, it's the whole experience has been amazing because I don't have to feel like, well, I'm solo, guys. I'm just gonna go around and rat through windows and try and help people. Now I can be like, hello, little Timmy. I brought you extra healing and campfires. Go forth, adventure. I will be here to heal you. Don't worry. I'll protect you with my life. Like, I'm dedicated. I will fucking die for those little Timmies. They don't know how much of an ally they have in me. You know, like, run, Timmy, run south. Quickly, I'll close the door. Don't worry. They'll never get... I'm dead. Run. Keep running.
Yeah, I got into a game
Just-
with a young kid the other day and his dad. They're playing duo.
Yeah.
It was like
Oh, I
some
love those
7-year-old,
guys.
and he came in with nothing besides a legendary longsword. And he's like, he was so happy. And then he died. He's like, "Can you loot my longsword, please?" It was so funny.
I felt bad though. The one time I decided to switch to PvE spec to help people kill bossing, like bosses and whatnot, I kept getting fucking run down by men with inventories filled with healing. Like okay, I get it. You want a PvP, but all right, can we just like talk about that? You should be queuing into Goblin Caves trios and not Crypts. I'm just saying, like, I know you love Crypts.
Oh,
but
the
Crypts is
unofficial
for the-
arena, Goblin Caves.
Yeah,
Yes,
Goblin Caves
that-
is the unofficial arena. If you are
It
PvPing in
is.
Crypts, you are butchering Timmy's, and I will eventually run into your squad and I will handle you. But yeah, I would go PvE spec with like Purification, Undead Slaying, and I got nothing but run down by fucking level 400 plus Sweat Lords, and I'm sitting there like, you motherfuckers! Like, really? I'm gonna have to go switch
So
back.
to talk on that point, I think those players would prefer to queue Goblin Caves, but sometimes you just don't want to wait 6 minutes. I've been there
Yes.
where I'm
Yep.
I'm sick of the rotation. I just
Yeah.
want to queue for my map. Now that we have a queue time, I will wait as long as it takes to get a full lobby, but just like let me queue for it, whenever I want.
Yeah, I mean, with without the rotation can be taken away now because we've got just make them wait. Just make them
Mhm.
wait 2 minutes in the queue. Just give us more stuff to do in queue while that's happening, and
Yeah.
I think you'll see better results. But
Yeah.
yeah, I would end up. It was just a constant thing. It would frustrate me because I was like, if I was just smiting you right now, you'd be fucking dead. You'd be dead. You would be dead on the ground. But no, I'm sitting here like, Mika Vista, please don't kill me. Little cheerleader clapping.
Not for sure.
You can't.
It
I
does
can't
change.
kill Warlord. Like I have to. I'm not
Yeah,
gonna kill him without it.
I've been trying to boss with Timmy's, but like without Holy Purification and no Undead Slaying, it's pretty hard.
It's
I tried to
impossible.
like before, like you'd be like, oh, Lich, we could do Lich, but now like they've changed Lich. And I'm like just sitting here trying to
You have
explain
to
it
leave
to
him
them.
up.
I'm like, you
No.
got to leave up a shield guy. You got to leave up a shield guy now, and like it's just not clicking.
I just run between him with the shield out. I become the shield guy.
It's not a bad
Also, by
issue
the
to
way,
do
it does fucking like 80% of your life in normals. It is clearly not like, come on, man. Why is that thing you guys did? Like, give us the walls back. What kind of evil demon creature can make a fucking laser that goes through walls? He shouldn't be kept in a hole. The Lich should be ruling the goddamn universe with that ability.
Maybe
like,
you
oh,
should
I'm just-
help him on your Warlock. Hydra form.
Dirty warlocks.
But-
Impure, filthy warlocks.
Play Druid, then you can put a tree in the way
That's true.
twice during the
Yeah, I
fight
was
only.
gonna say
You can
all
do
of
that 2
twice.
times. Yep. Should the druid get 3 charges of Trent?
For sure.
Yeah.
Trent the tree? in?
Yeah.
Yep.
It
Okay.
doesn't scale, doesn't do enough. It's good for displacement. If they're gonna nerf the wall, give the druid something threatening, and that's
You
it.
can pretty much two-shot it if you're in gear. Like it's pretty
Yes.
much
Yeah.
garbage.
As someone who's
And again,
been
it doesn't
1v1 by a
scale.
Trent before, I hate that shit.
I mean, yeah.
This one time, I Druid hit me with a Trent. I was in a corner. I
Yeah,
could not move.
you
I'm
just sat
wizard,
there.
and I
think
can't.
was with you.
I can't cast because he's too close to me. I literally interrupting, and he just hits me just like 7 times, and I was just
Yeah.
dead. But that's a very niche case. Very niche case. That was very.
I
very
died
annoying.
to chasing a druid for about 2.5 minutes after killing 2 of his squad mates and just running into a room and him just training PvE and me with my little cleric hands opening the doors as quick as I can get behind him. Eventually, it was one of those doors with a window or with no window. He opens it, runs through. There's a hallway full of PvE chasing me. I walk in there and fucking Trent just spawns right next to the torch and like snuggles me into the corner. I'm like, I can't go forward, can't go back, I can't go forward. And then all the fucking PV is like, hello, we've been waiting for you. And I'm just surrounded and I died. I felt really cool about that. I really do. I still think one of the things that drives me the most nuts, besides like mechanics that piss you off, is just monster displacement. For like example, the little spider mummies, if you're opening a door on a stair and you're above them and they walk up and they auto attack, the auto attack animation lunges them forward and it scoops you the fuck up and shoots you backwards across the
Yep.
map. I've died to that more than once. I
Yep.
feel like player agency should definitely override the shitty little spider mummy that's 2 inches tall. I've got fucking boots on, goddammit. Let me crunch the bastard. But yeah, it's a movement speed, not a movement speed, but like a player movement rant in general. I just don't like the idea of constantly being slapped around like that. Okay, maybe I do, but only on the weekends.
All right, that's a good segue. We are transitioning out of Dark and Darker talk. Chat, throw your non-dad questions out there, and we'll do our best to get to them. We did have a couple here in the outline, few scripted. The number one that I wanted to throw out there to you guys was, what is the best concert you have ever attended IRL?
All right, you guys are gonna. This would be the worst answer ever. But
Oh,
I've never been to a concert. I fucking hate crowds of people.
What the
I
fuck?
don't. I've been invited to many. I've been invited to tons actually, and I always say no because I fucking hate people. I'm sorry.
Mm-hmm.
It's a boring answer, but I thought I would just
No,
leave it
no,
at that.
I'm gonna
All right,
interject.
see you
and
at
say it's not
TwitchCon.
that you hate-
Cool, we'll
no,
see you
no,
there.
he
That's
doesn't-
what I was thinking. Yeah, see, it's
Listen,
TwitchCon.
it's not that he hates people. All right, I'm gonna throw this out there. This motherfucker does not properly love music.
I love
There.
music.
I'm gonna say it. No,
I-
no, you don't. No, you don't. You won't
Listen-
go see your favorite musicians live and suffer through the.
Why
crowds
would I
of
do that
people.
when I could pirate their stuff online? Okay.
Oh, listen to this guy.
Damn.
Oh my
Damn,
goodness.
it's like the end boss playing free games.
What?
I refuse to spend a single penny to
if I
support
no
them.
no, I will support them if it's something that I can't do through just playing the game or earn by just playing the game. There's nothing that changed in those. Just to clarify, I can spend $0 in the games that we are discussing and still achieve all of the greatness required. So I'm not going to spend a fucking dime. But
Fair
yeah,
enough.
my best concert, it probably was well, I mean, it was a series of it was a metal like aftershock in 2019 in California. I think it was like San Diego. They had like Korn, Slipknot, Baby Metal, Tool, Stone Temple Pilots. Oh my God. Bring Me the Horizon, Rob Zombie, Marilyn Manson, Stained,
Jeez, that's good.
Wow.
lineup.
Clutch.
That's a
Like
lineup.
this was, dude.
Up.
So I was invited by my my girlfriend. She was like, "You want to go to the show?" I was like, "I have never wanted anything more in my fucking life." Like it was just, I was so excited. It was like a 3-day long festival of all of my favorite bands, and man, it was absolutely incredible. I couldn't pick just one from that. What?
Chatter says so. End boss has done some drugs. Sorry, I thought
What?
I thought it was
Not him.
Whoa.
I don't
Always
what?
sober.
I thought it was a
But
good
I
comment.
remember every part of that festival. Okay. Some of it, but yeah, that was absolutely incredible. I don't know if there was a best particular band at that show. Slipknot, I almost died. Like I did the standard issue pit thing and then
Good.
got slapped around, and I was on my way out of the pit and somebody got returned to the pit almost like a human projectile, except they had their elbow out in front of them. And I was fucking exhausted. I'm sweaty. My glass has been slapped off my face, and I had to fumble around in the pit doing the rotation. Like, okay, this is where I lost him. Got him. Fuck yeah. You know, just getting thrown around. And then I'm
The
on my
fact that
way
you
out.
found him is crazy, by the way.
It
Like,
is.
I would have
Every
gave up.
time
I would have gave up.
I've never lost my glasses in a pit, but I've lost them like 3 times in the pits and found them. But I've never left a concert without my glasses.
Wow.
My mother would have been very angry. But yeah, the guy came elbow first, got shoved in by some like 6 foot fucking 8, 300-pound whale at the edge of the pit, just fucking get back in there. He comes flying through. It's like, I'm already exhausted, and immediately the wind is knocked out of me, and I'm sent almost right on my ass in the middle of a stampede. And I'm just like, oh shit. But of course, as is tradition in every pit, you hit the ground. No, you didn't. Fucking scoop my ass back up. My buddy looked in from the pit, like he sees me in there, just like, oh, that's a look of worry. And he comes fucking barreling through looking for me and grabs me and pulls me out. It was very nice, though. The Slipknot was probably the best part of that concert
Oh yeah.
or festival.
Josh.
What about you, Arcane? No, you
Oh,
first.
All right, I'll go next.
Yeah.
So I've got a tie for first place, and
Is it
one
Mozart
is
or?
not surprisingly no.
The Beatles.
No, I'm not quite that old, but I did see Social Distortion in the 90s. So I was big into punk rock and also metal, and then a few jam bands, but not like I was never into Fish or anything like that. So I actually have a two-way tie for first. One was Social Distortion. It was the best, absolute best mosh pit I've ever been in, because I had come. It was like last minute. I wasn't thinking. I actually showed up at a Social D concert with khakis and a collared shirt on. And I got in the pit with people that were like, I mean, it's not too far
Wearing the
off
same
from
thing,
Slipknot.
clearly.
Yeah, it's not too far off from like Slipknot. And I went, and I was stone cold sober too, and I went nuts in this pit, and it was the coolest group of guys and gals ever, and I got my ass kicked, but it was just like you were saying, Alex, like I got knocked down, boom, someone's right there to pick me up. I'm doing the same for the 2 other people that were smaller than I was. And like, it was one of the best shows I've ever been to. It's tied with Rusted Root, which I'm not a huge,
That's one I haven't heard in a while.
I haven't really
I'm old,
listened.
I
I
know those.
never really listened to their music that much, but I found out they were playing a free show on a college campus. And I went, that one I was definitely not sober. And that was one of the best shows of all time. It was absolutely insane. Like they did the the double drummer thing. They've got like 10 people on stage. It was absolutely incredible. So those two, both of them in the late 90s, really, really good.
Yeah, I'm a huge Social Distortion fan. A lot of that on my gym playlist. So
Hell yeah.
yeah, there's back. What about So Bad? So, let me guess, Maroon 5?
Come on.
Oh, alas.
The Justin Timberlake, actually. That's
I got
So
it. Old JT. No, Bieber is the Biebs
I
for
saw
me.
the Backstreet Boys in concert when I was in high school. No meme. That was a pretty good show.
Go ahead.
Good place to go to find girls, that's for sure.
I found nothing, but the friend that never mind. But yeah, they actually came down on like fucking from the sky, you know, like the top of the whole stadiums. They flew down in like little trapeze things. It was pretty cool.
That does
Not a
sound
bad
cool.
show.
Yeah. That sounds fun for them. Like when you get that famous and you can just blow money at the concerts and just come in like
I just want to
crazy.
fly. I want to fly the
Yeah.
fuck down on the stage, dude.
Or
Are you
come in
high
like a
right now? Yeah,
come
but
in
I
like a
want to
squirrel
fucking
suit.
fly. Yeah, that was. It was like they were strapped in like squirrel suits, and they all just kind of came down, descending. It was a badass show. I mean, Backstreet Boys know how to put on a concert.
My best one was I went to San Francisco on just a random weekend. Didn't have any like concerts planned or anything like that. And my friend who lived there decided to take me to, I can't remember the name of it. It's like WonderCon or like Wonder something. And it's just this massive concert with like a bunch of different venues, like huge leading artists, like Lana Del Rey was there. I think Skrillex was there, just like a bunch of different ones at like all the different main stages. But we didn't have any tickets. And so like a little rat that I was, I decided that I would climb the fence. And they had these, they had those like shitty rental fences. But there were a bunch of people without tickets, and like everybody just started like you could feel the atmosphere starting to grow as like people wanted to get in and like couldn't figure out how. And there was only like 3 or 4 of like the volunteer cops, like no weapons, just radios. And so we started climbing the fence, and they were like, "Hey, like don't do that." And they were like trying to shake the fence to get us off. And so many people started trying to climb the fence that the fence fell over. And so we had like this stampede of people just running through, and like the rental cops were trying to grab people, and I just sprinted right through and past directly into the sea of like, I don't even know, thousands of people. And so I got in, I got to listen to Lana Del Rey live, and it was magnificent. She's one of my favorite artists. I listen to her on stream a bunch. So that one's for me, but I don't go to that many concerts either. I'm kind of like Ken. I don't really like people.
It reminded me of the Foo Fighters show, which is actually probably, I think now that I would put that over Slipknot. Just to clarify, the Foo Fighters put on one of the most incredible shows. Like the energy of the crowd was unmatched, and they just fucking loved it, man. They really did. They loved the show. What was it? This was before the passing of the drummer, and him and the drummer, like you could tell they were like best friends, back and forth, really playing. So like when I heard the news, I was like, oh shit, man, poor Dave.
Yeah.
But yeah, they'd switch spots. He'd go out on the drums, and then the drummer came out and just started shredding on the guitar and calling it out. That was an incredible show. And also they saw a drunk Santa in the crowd who had a sign, "Please shotgun a beer with me." Got him on stage, and he got to shotgun a beer with Dave Grohl.
Jeez.
Oh, that's cool.
So it's just a shit-faced Santa. That's a good memory for him.
Oh yeah, he peaked.
He peaked.
Like,
I thought going to this concert to Santa was a fucking waste, man. Just never tell me again. I'm never taking the suit off.
That's great.
All right. I was gonna ask whose cat would win in a fight, Josh's cat or Odin's cat, but since Odin is not here to defend his champion, I think we'll save that for another time.
Also, I just want to point out, it's no contest. My cats have already killed a cat. They are 1-0. So unless Odin's fat dumb cat has killed another cat,
bro.
that is a no
like,
contest.
I was gonna say, Sobad's cats are like, they've been starved. They lived on the street.
1.0
came
KD.
from nothing.
These cats fucked, dude.
He got his cats from like flea bottom down at the fucking bottom of the pits. They're like, you little rascals, fighting for scraps again? Perfect. And he just snatches them up.
What good timing, because this one barely leaves the bedroom, but she was too fast. She has a perpetual
they're so
broken
fast,
tail.
Bored like that. I was gonna say
they're bored like that. They're ready for battle.
They have all that
They have
dark and darker
PTSD.
rogue training. They're just sitting there watching you play rogue all day. Yeah.
Also, Poopy survived German Shepherd attacking her for like 55 seconds.
What?
That's the name.
My neighbor in Oceanside had a German Shepherd, and I used to let my cat outside in the courtyard, and he let the dog off the leash, and it just like full vicious slobbering like 100% would have got her in his jaws and killed her, like snapped her in half. And she like ran up a palm tree, like all her like paws were all bloody. She was like actual Matrix,
paws,
like running up across walls and like jumping between. It was absolutely wild to see. And she came inside and like all her hackles were rising. Like she smelled like shit. She was all sweaty. Her paws were bleeding. These cats have been through some shit.
Can't beat it.
They got high level agility.
Yeah.
No
Low
kidding.
stamina, high agi.
Alas, next question.
Nerf
Stacking
move
moves.
Yes.
speed. Nerf move speed. Yeah.
Dude, it's the most OP set in every game, even real life.
Oh.
All right, this one's for Ken. Which restaurant chain makes the best cheesesteaks?
I mean, and Boss could add to this too. But me personally, I go to this place locally called Philly Steak. It's like it's just like chopsteak, whatever. But the cheese sauce they put on their cheesesteaks, I don't know if it's a cheese soup, and they just pour it on. It's cheese soup with some meat in it, and you would think a normal piece of bread couldn't contain such a soup, but they have these very rotund buns that could just keep it all together somehow. It's a fucking miracle. They make the best cheesesteaks. They know me by name. I go there fucking every week. Very, 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 very good looking, cashier there. But besides, that's not why I go. I mean, it is why I go. But
That's why
they make very good cheesesteaks. And yes, that Philly steaks. If you're in PA, it's a good one.
So, quick question before we go to Alex here: is it a requirement to have the cheese sauce be cheddar or American cheese, or can you have a Philly cheesesteak with provolone? Or are you a purist?
I've done them all, but I like American cheese.
Okay.
I'm
provolone's
going to
great.
tack onto that and immediately agree that it's called a cheese steak, not a provolone steak or a cheddar steak. Like, it's fucking just load that shit up with cheese. If it's swimming in cheese, that's a cheese steak.
Yeah,
that's why the
right.
word cheese comes before steak.
Yeah.
But
I want more cheese than steak.
that's the ratio is in the title. All right.
A cheesesteak
But
tier
yeah.
list win.
Yeah. For
Want some-
anybody
Some
that
garlic bread. Oh yeah.
oh dude. Oh,
I'm
man.
so hungry,
if
bro.
you
I'm
live
so
in New
hungry.
York, if you live in Western New York, or you're in that area like Buffalo, Niagara Falls, or even close to it, ever in your entire lifetime, there is a Subway, a sub chain out there called Viola's, just like the weapon of mighty destruction. If you're there, get a steak and cheese from this place. It is the single greatest experience you can have. I've gotten nothing that comes close. And I don't get me wrong, I've had some 9.8, some 9.9s. This is like an 11 out of 10 cheesesteak experience. I can't seem to get it anywhere else. So I would definitely recommend checking it out. So
What state were
it
you
is
in
the,
when you got
the
it?
best. I was high as hell. No, just New York. it was I was sandwiched.
Non-sobriety?
Yeah, Western New York is where I know that they are. Like I know Niagara Falls and Buffalo, like that sort of area. Nobody's ever over there, but if you ever are, look that place up and get a cheesesteak. You will not regret it. It's incredible.
Okay. Josh,
I'm
what
so
about
hungry.
you? Who's got
I'm
the best
pissed.
cheesesteak?
I don't even think I've had a cheesesteak.
Yeah, I knew it. I knew it.
Yeah.
Come
Fucking
on.
hippie. I
I
knew
just
it.
had
I've had a tofu organic
Now
cheese
avocado
products.
toast. Listen,
Cauliflower.
you get the
Avocado
kale,
toast and a nice
kale
Fiji
green
water.
Yeah.
We gotta do some hot yoga,
Fiji
come out,
water.
and alas.
We don't have anything crazy in Ohio. I used to work at the Great Steak and Potato Company at one point, and that place had some pretty baller cheesesteaks, I must say. But as far as other chains around here, really, it's like Charlie's has surprisingly decent cheesesteaks. Jersey Mike's would be okay, but their bun, I don't know. Like, I feel like their bread is just, it's optimal for cold food, not
basic.
hot.
Yeah, I hate Jersey Mike's hot sandwiches.
basic.
Jersey Mike's
Yeah, it's-
they have great
yeah.
cold subs, but their hot
Yeah.
subs are just nope.
I know, I agree.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's probably Charlie's, really. And Great Steak and Potato. Penn Station's not the worst. I know people will probably scoff at that, but every now and then I'll get some Penn Station.
It's just the perfect food. Has everything you need. You got your dairy, you got your meat, you got your veg, you got your grains. It's just
You
the
do
perfect food.
banana peppers?
Banana
usually
peppers
on the
jalapenos,
cheese?
but I like
Oh,
banana
yeah,
peppers
there
too.
you go.
I'm not a jalapeno guy.
Yeah,
Too much
jalapenos.
spice for my poor little taste buds.
Yeah, so that's why if you have just a ton of cheese, it cancels it out. It's like You
Or
have
I
the
could just not get
spice.
fucking hot peppers. Or that. Or I could just not have it.
You're allowed to be wrong, I guess. It's fine.
Oh, okay.
We got a good question from Phil over here, which kind of ties into one of our preordained ones. So Phil said, if you weren't playing Dark and Darker, what would you be playing right now? Which is kind of, it's not quite the same, but we'll tie it in anyway. What are the top 3 games you've ever played? And then as a bonus, if you want to throw out, if Dark and Darker did not exist, what would you be playing right now?
Yeah, think about this one.
I got us. I
Yeah.
mean, top 3 games is for sure Vampire Rising. That game is incredible. Solos, multiplayer, PvP, no PvP. It's just a really, really fun game. Let's see what else. If Dark and Darker didn't exist, I don't know, man. Honestly, I don't think I would have made it as a streamer. Because like I played a lot of shit before that, and I was like bouncing all over the place. Like most of the guys in this call and that we are associated with all got partnered from Dark and Darker.
You had huge views for V Rising, though.
I had really good
Yeah,
views
you
for
were
V
pretty-
Rising.
yeah.
That's true. But like that game is like seasonal. Like you can't just be a V Rising streamer, right? Like
It's pretty big for
it's-
Diablo though, too, right?
Who
We're
was
pretty good on Diablo. All of us was decent for Diablo.
Not me.
Nah,
Diablo
I didn't
4, the hardcore.
I
play it.
guess.
Oh,
I
yeah,
guess
not
that's
you,
true.
fuck
But
you.
like for me, that's seasonal as well. Like I can't. I'm actually impressed with like the PoE and the Diablo streamers because for me, like those games, they're so repetitive.
What's the
that
item
I-
hunt? It's the
right,
same
it's
feeling for Dark and Darker
understandable.
for me.
Like for me, it's not an item hunt, Dark and Darker. It's like the full loot,
Yep.
hard pounding fucking PvP. But I've been like that for years, and so that was one of the reasons I didn't like Diablo is because there was no PvP. And so like at that point, I feel like why hunt items if I cannot use those items to kill other people, get their items.
To be fair, we were in the hardcore realm where if you PvP'd someone and fucking killed them, they dead forever. And, you know, their 100-hour characters disappeared. We're the only idiots,
I was in the
content
goddamn
creators that
fields
were
of
running around the
hatred
PvP zone
for
like,
3 days
waiting in-
straight. Where are
Some
they?
of the players that were decent, if one of them showed up, it wouldn't have even been a contest. If any
I
of the
fucking
decent players
wish they'd
showed up,
killed me. Yeah,
Yeah.
but people in my
Instead,
chat
he
each day
did
were
die
they
to
were
a
like,
decent player. By the
"Oh,
way,
no,
yeah.
no."
Oh, by the way, Sobad died because he was like, I want to test my damage. And Nizori was like, oh, you want to test your damage? And they're like, let's spar outside town in a permanent death game mode. And then fucking Sobad and Nizori are fighting. And Sobad's like, oh shit, I procced my cheat death. Oh shit, I've got dots on me. Oh shit, my hundreds of hours just fucking poofed. Oh my god, it was hilarious. I woke up that day and all of a sudden Sobad is fucking dead. He's gone. His character is killed. And how does he die? How does he lose his hardcore character that is never going to die to a fucking teammate? Holy shit.
I was
lost
so
my
excited.
mind. It was so hilarious.
Poor Nizori had like PTSD. His wife
felt
got
so
online
bad.
and was profusely
felt so
apologizing
bad,
that
dude.
her
That
husband
man's-
ended my 100-hour playthrough. And I was like,
So
no, please. You don't
was so
understand. You have
fucking
released
good.
me from the burden that is Diablo fucking
Oh.
4.
So
Once
was
Diablo 4
indirectly-
story ends, that game is shit.
Now
Holy
it
shit,
makes
that was the
sense.
greatest.
I was
Mm.
wondering why Nizori quit playing Dark and Darker. Indirectly, it was you. Now I
Yeah.
get it.
Or Diablo, yeah.
Nah, he's like,
Well,
he's,
oh
he's
my God.
popping up on Dungeonborn. He's been
Yeah,
playing
he's
so much
killing it,
Dungeonborn.
man. The last
Yeah.
couple
Yeah.
days. The thing is,
Yeah.
Dungeonborn has a really, really good streamer program. Like one of the best I've ever seen.
do.
Right now,
They gave
right
me
now
money.
they have Clotho's trial on where like you have to
I
get
think I can say
tickets
that.
to go to arena, and the only way to get tickets is to watch streamers. And every 30 minutes you watch a streamer, you get a ticket.
No, they didn't.
This
That's no,
is-
you can spend 30K and get a ticket. I've been doing them all day.
Right, but you get them free from watching a streamer. It's like that's a really good program.
Yeah.
It's kinda
Hopefully
cool.
get that
I
soon.
just I won something from them and I thought it was a joke. I thought I was getting a spam message, but it turns out no, they did I won something for streaming their game, which is I mean a huge incentive. I didn't know I was going to win it. But sorry, we got away from the games. You were like on number 1, number
you're
2.
up. Alex,
Yeah,
you're
Oh,
I'm honestly done. V Rising and Dark and
Oh.
Darker, top 2.
Oh shit. Probably still hating myself on Tarkov because that was always pretty good for me. And I was
Prime
enjoying it.
Tarkov, you know, it's different
Like,
than
yeah,
today's
before
Tarkov.
inertia. Like, yeah, I mean, this next wipe, who knows? I'll be playing it this next wipe. I even
Yeah.
applied for
Is that
drops
tomorrow?
because I know it's the 20th. Yeah, it's actually holy fuck. It is very soon. So I
Yeah,
will
2
be playing
days.
Tarkov. I have no doubt. It's the wipe, you know. Tarkov is very fun during the early wipe if you are a Tarkov enjoyer, and then it just immediately drops off. But
Yeah,
yeah,
that first
I'll
week always
definitely be
hits.
playing. Yeah, that or like I used to play the game I have the most time spent in is World of Warcraft, and I played that for like 14 years. I was a guild leader, top 50 US, sweaty nonsense. 4 days a week, I raid for 4 hours a fucking night. Like it was bad. But so probably that or
Can't be that
Overwatch
good if
2.
you're raiding for 4 hours, bro. Get those
I mean,
numbers
bro,
down.
we were actually well,
Mhm.
there was another guild that was occasional excellence, and they only raided 2 days a week, but they managed to pull like really close to our progress, and I was pissed because they were so fucking good. I was like, you bastards, like 2 days and not 2 nights a fucking week, and you're pulling. But then it turns out they had been actually watching parts of my stream and taking strats. And so that was the first time I had to mute Discord audio. And like, I didn't know what the fuck to do. So I joined Discord on my phone and used earbuds under my headset so I could hear Discord audio and mute it for the stream. So nobody knew who was tanking, what phase changes, abilities, anything like that. Cause it was that sweaty. So that's
Jeez.
also something in contrast. It's crazy to see the broadcasted race to world first. Like that as a concept, like that shit was on such a fucking lockdown that you would be booted if you so much as leaked a PDF or, an Excel spreadsheet of the list of healers in order. Like that shit was hardcore. For them to be broadcasting their progress really blows my mind. But yeah, probably Tarkov, World of Warcraft, or Overwatch or some other very competitive shooter because Valorant maybe.
Valorant, holy shit.
Wow.
Yeah,
I like
used to
I
play-
like Valorant a lot. I do.
Counter-Strike was the first game I went and got paid for and was playing in tournaments and shit. So that was like, I was a semi-pro back in the day. All right, I played Counter-Strike before you guys were swimming in your. Never mind.
Yeah, I was
That was my
Calo,
genre.
like
Yeah.
Well,
But yeah,
many moons
one of those
ago,
three. What about you, huh? Darkfall? You gonna go let me?
Yeah,
Ah,
This-
shit.
Yeah.
Here
I
we
mean,
go
it's
again.
just the best game ever made. It's this old, full loot open world sandbox MMO called Darkfall Online, where it has had the craziest game physics. It's actually very similar to Dark and Darker spellcasting. If like you watch some of my old YouTube videos of me playing Darkfall, you're like, holy shit! No wonder why this guy plays Wizard. It's like the same shit. But so imagine Dark and Darker, right? But it's just an MMO, and you can just go around this huge in-game world and kill whoever the frick you want and take their shit. And then you have guilds, you have cities, there's huge clans, there's huge alliances, there's politics. You could siege someone's city and take it from them. You could have these huge 100 on 100 battles. It's just the best game ever made that no one ever played, and it's a tragedy. But that I always say that's my favorite game. But something that more people know. I think one of the best games ever made, one of my favorite games is Path of Exile. If I wasn't playing Dark and Darker right now, I would be playing Path of Exile. They have a new league recently, and it's popping off. Everybody loves it. Like that game has just been consistently like S tier for 13 years, and that's like unheard of in gaming history. Like no game can make a game consistently good, updated for that long, and so grinding your games is like a great job with Path of Exile. That game's amazing. As for my third one, this is hard. I'm not sure. It would either be StarCraft 2 because I love RTS games, or probably Gary's Mod. I'm a big Gary's Mod enjoyer. Gary's Mod is the original Minecraft. Okay, you don't have a Minecraft if you don't have Gary's Mod. Let's be real here. If you're just like if you're just a young kid playing Gary's Mod, you like thinking, you like building, you like using your brain. Games like that are just great. I had so much fun just building shit and playing. If you're a mod, part of the modding community, all those Search Engine games with like mod privileges are just super fun and like paved the way for like sandbox games like Minecraft and Roblox and yada yada.
And Fortnite.
So, Fortnite, yeah, you don't have those without Gary's
Prop
Mod.
Hunt, Among Us, like a lot.
Exactly,
yeah, I agree with that.
exactly. So like Gary's Mod is one of the greatest games of all time. One of my favorites.
That's funny because it all started with Half-Life. That was
It all started with Half-Life, yeah.
It all started with
Half-Life.
Half-Life. Counter-Strike, all from Half-Life. Valorant, all the way up. Call of Duty, pretty much everything. Almost like probably 60% of modern gaming sprung just from that one game.
Yep.
And that's just so crazy to me because
Yeah,
I remember
the engine.
I remember
of
Half-Life
course,
coming
yeah.
out. Well, it was Half-Life.
It's universal too. Like everybody who played World of Warcraft played Half-Life for the most part. So like when you met people in real life before the rise of the internet, everyone had played those two games. Like everybody at my school, I would go to Six Flags, you'd be in line for a roller coaster and you'd be like, do you guys play World of Warcraft? They're like, oh my God, yeah. Like, and then we started in 1.6 Counter-Strike, and like those conversations created friend groups like that, and like Halo LAN, all that stuff was huge.
One of my good friends, he's also one of my mods. We met because one of our mutual friends was basically like, you like this game, he likes this game, be friends. And I was like, yo, this dude's awesome. Yeah, we both just fucking immediately.
You like that game, so obviously you're cool,
dude.
yeah.
Dudes are awesome. Yeah, he's hanging out in chat right now. What's up, Josh? Love you.
You ever have one of these? Like you go Thanksgiving dinner, you've gone to things you've done like a couple years in a row. You've seen these people. They have no idea you're a gamer. You have no idea that like your distant cousin is a gamer. Then one Thanksgiving dinner, like he just like you see him looking at his phone. You see he's like watching a World of Warcraft trailer or something. And you're like, you? I didn't know you were cool this whole time. I didn't even like you before. Now we're fucking talking about killing Lich King over some turkey. This is it. This is awesome.
It's the Step Brothers. Did we just
He's
become
like, I got
best
That's
friends?
exactly what I thought. Did we just become best friends?
Yeah.
I got my
Crazy.
third epic piece. I'm like, I've been full Bloodfang for 4 months. It's okay. You know, no, I don't mean to brag. You know, big deal.
Yeah, I love stuff like that though. What about you, Arcane?
So for
Like,
me, I'm not even pandering. Dark and Darker is #1 of all time, but it is kind of close. Warcraft 3 Reign of Chaos is second place, and I just downloaded it again. Odin told me it was a big mistake. He's probably right, but I've been playing through the campaign just for nostalgia's sake, and it's been a blast. I saw Soda playing it on stream the other day with Grubby 4K, who is a all-time legend. Grubby was teaching him, and that was really cool to see. So that got me motivated, and I started playing that again for a little bit. And then I think I'm at a 3-way tie for third place. It's kind of a cop-out, but it's between Skyrim, Rocket League, and Unreal Tournament.
Oh,
Wow,
that's
Unreal
cool.
Tournament.
How do you play? How do you play it though? Where's the other players for Unreal, man? I want to play against someone. I missed that shit.
The
Damn, that game was
original
so good.
Unreal Tournament
Yeah,
had
OG.
such a good multiplayer scene, man. That
Yeah.
was really my first foray into any kind of multiplayer shooter, and holy cow, that was awesome. So I never got into
Goddamn.
Quake for some reason,
That
but
Quake
2
3
was
Arena
awesome.
was.
I was all about Quake.
I was all about Unreal. Cutting someone's head off with saw blades, and you're just spitting saw blades out of your gun, or you get like the well, you got like a missile that you could fucking physically steer yourself.
Yeah, you could. Yeah, you
and
could
it
control
was
the
like a
missile, yeah.
nuclear blast. You get like 5 or 6 kills. You're just like, that's it. You just wanted to stand up at your computer and be like, "You're welcome."
I did
That was me. That was me.
I liked 2004, like the big open world sort of tribes, mass scaled
Oh, I
flying
forgot
around.
about that.
Yeah, that
Holy
was actually a
cow.
lot
Had
of fucking
vehicles
fun.
too, didn't it?
Yeah, it did. We kind of played without
Oh.
very many vehicles. So it was kind of just fuck the vehicles, but that was just fun. That was so cool.
I forgot
Planet Side
about that.
1 as well.
Planet
Like
Side was a cool game.
when you hot dropped into like a giant battle, and there were like clans and companies, and there's just like ships and titans and tanks and ground-based combat, and like the fury of the war and moving.
Especially at that
map.
time, right? Like
Oh
that
my
was
God, it was
so crazy.
fucking
Talking about it,
revolutionary.
Something I've seen lately coming up again on Twitter and everywhere really that I miss was the Battlefield 3 and also Battlefield Bad Company. Like the Bad Company 1 and 2 were just incredible. The actual destruction in fucking gaming was, there was nothing that matches that shit. It was I think the best Battlefields. But 3, I was seeing a bunch of like destruction clips of people just like blowing up different buildings and the environments, and I was like, how the fuck did we go? Like, this was so long ago, and we've gone so far backwards with Battlefield series, and it's embarrassing. It's one of those things that just, the older I get, the more I get mad. Like, how did you go backwards and make a shittier game?
Profit, my boy.
There's just no.
That's how I feel about
sense.
Star Wars, right? Like Star Wars Battlefront
Yeah.
was peak. It was peak.
Man.
No, it
That's
was
so
good.
good.
Listen, the one that came out that had all the pay to win controversy was still a fun game.
That
I
game
actually
was
played the
sick.
shit out of it. It was actually really good. I know
The
it had
kill
all that, I
streak
can't spend
giving
it.
you a Jedi, right? Where like you actually played your ass off, you killed a couple vehicles, you like actually changed the battlefield to your team, and now you're Darth Vader, and you're like, I'm here. And you kill like 40 or 50 people as Darth Vader. Like that felt fucking good.
It was new. It was just the pay
God.
to win overshadowed the fact that it was actually a good game. It did have pay to win, but it's also such a fucking good game that I didn't care about the pay to win. I was like, I'm fucking loving this game.
If you killed their Jedi and like you just
That
knew,
was a
you're
win.
like, this is it. This is a dub, dude. They have no Jedi. I'm about to just like mollywop. Yeah.
I played the space combat one. That was so much fun. I was a god in the space combat.
That one was
fucking just flying into like the asteroid fields and just scraping people off, just literally like this asteroid's coming flying thing. I'm like, if I just get this little, I'm gonna cut it just right. I can scrape the missiles off my ass, and then they're trying to chase me, and I see the fucking assist pop up because they ran into a fucking meteor. It's like, oh, you sly devil boss, I'm a slippy man. You can't catch me. Rat strats.
The maps are cool, man. When you're in like I don't remember the name, like the forest map, and the trees were like fucking huge, and like I think it was Endor, and like people were up in like the little elven city. I know there's not elves, but like you had it was like the map was like multi-layered. Like you had like ground-based forest fights, and then people were like up in the huts fighting, and you would get like sniped from like a million miles away. Like,
there was actually like spaceships on the map too. I remember that with Hoth. There was spaceships that were flying around while the ground combat was happening. And like,
I will say, it's cool with Twitch because like when things get popular on Twitch, like everyone is doing it, right? For Tarkov Wipe, like all your favorite streamers will probably go play the Wipe for X amount of time. And so it draws the worldwide community to something, and that boosts its population, its perception, and like that part is really cool because we're all kind of looking for something and we all want to be part of it. And so it's fun when it shifts and it moves, and like dark and darker wipes are going to be like that as well. You'll have like, I feel like for this coming wipe, we'll have like 60,000 or more. Everybody will be back. We'll probably get like arena or something.
Be awesome, at least.
It's kind of like movies, right? Where like if you have a good movie, and the sequel does better, you know, because people are hyped from the first movie, and like we had a really good season. We had a lot of people playing the season, but it was Anchorman 2. But we had a good season, so like that's going to create even more hype for the next season. I think anyway. I'm excited for that.
Speaking of movies, I just saw Alien Romulus. That movie is so good. My God, it's like a perfect sequel to the originals.
I'm always
it draws the whole series in together.
So it makes no sense and nobody understood it. It's just like
it's literally Alien. It's nothing like Inception. It makes perfect sense from start to finish. I was very sad when the movie ended. I could have used like a whole another hour in that universe. It was great.
No, I'm looking for a new movie too, so that should be good.
Deadpool, Wolverine, anybody?
Haven't
seen that one yet.
Hear good
I'm
things,
just slacking.
Just saw it yesterday.
Just slacking on movies.
It was awesome.
Yeah, it's hard to miss with those guys, dude. Like you can just put those guys in a room; they could be talking for 2 hours, and it would be good. So like you can't mess with those characters.
Hugh Jackman just loves to have fun with it, and so does fucking Ryan Reynolds. So I can imagine it's incredible.
Yep,
I'm hyped for it. Okay.
Yeah, the other characters I won't do spoilers, but the other characters that you wouldn't expect to come in from older non-MCU movies, it's pretty awesome.
Okay. I'm hyped actually.
Ooh.
Yeah, I want to see it.
Any other new movies? Discord movie night. Did you watch Dodgeball? I always default.
We start with Dodgeball.
Can we talk about like how like mid 2000s comedies were? It was the best time to be a comedy director.
Dodgeball. Like there's just an endless series of incredible
Old School,
movies.
Idiocracy.
Will Ferrell was out. To be fair, Will Ferrell did. Step Bros,
Anchorman,
Step Brothers. There's just a series of movies that were carried.
Zoolander.
Yeah. And then
Zoolander.
again, when we talk about the sequels, we're kind of like, Anchorman 2 did exist. I never saw Anchorman 2. Never saw it.
I've seen it. It was mid.
There's no. I was just like that. Nobody asked for this. Like Anchorman was totally fine. You did not need to make a second movie. And
what about Zoolander 2?
No,
I've never seen that either. But
I
saw Super Troopers 2. Yeah. The second Super Troopers movie was actually pretty good. It was still pretty funny. Not as good, but yeah. Again, nobody was really like, "Hey, Super Troopers needs a sequel." But those guys are fucking hilarious. They've always been really funny.
I know that they're both good. I like them both. They're very.
You do have some competition though from late '90s, like
90s great too.
Chris Farley, David Spade, Tommy Boy. Black Sheep. What else did they have?
I mean, everything Adam Sandler.
The Adam Sandler movies.
Yeah.
When he used to be funny, I promise. All you millennials and youngins, you know.
He's coming back. He's making a comeback. He's making a comeback.
I think he's trying to be drama man or something. He's going all drama.
Yeah.
Uncut Diamonds.
Bill Murray, like all the SNL
Uncut
cast.
Gems.
Yeah, Bill Murray's good.
Uncut
Gems. Adam Sandler thing.
I haven't seen that.
That one is. You should watch that with your family. That's a great movie.
Uncut Gems. Okay.
So we got an Oscar for that.
Yeah, agreed.
Well, while we're on the movie topic, top 3 movies of all time. And boss, go.
Oh no!
Yeah, hit it and boss of that. Yeah,
dude, you can't do that. You just literally put me on the spot. All right. I mean, I think number one. I don't know if I'm gonna get yelled at. I mean, I know I'm gonna get yelled at. Number one, I'd have to say Fight Club. I think Fight Club
That's
was
a
a
good
fucking
movie.
brilliant
God,
movie.
what a safe
Good
answer.
choice.
That's-
Yeah.
it's a good fucking movie.
I know.
Well, I mean, it's not even
yeah.
like
Wait,
That's
I
why
can't
it's safe.
think of
That's why
something
it's safe.
that's up there.
Let's go around. Everybody's number one. And then we'll
Okay,
go to number
good.
two.
All right.
Because
Oh,
I,
yeah,
I don't even think I have.
My favorite, V for Vendetta is my favorite movie. That's my go-to favorite movie.
Such a good
That's a
one.
good movie.
Cool.
That's a movie.
You didn't say Drive. I'm concerned.
That's my number 2. Shut up.
Okay.
Sorry. But V for Vendetta, I will say it's the movie that aged the best because you watched that movie like when it came out 2005, right? And then
Sadly,
you
by the
gosh.
way.
yeah,
It's
you
so
watch
good.
it again
My
post
number 2 did the
COVID.
same thing. It's Idiocracy, unfortunately.
Yep.
That's so funny. But yeah,
They
V for
both
Vendetta
age
is
for the
great.
wrong reasons. Like, wow, this is really true. Oh,
Yeah, like a fine
Idiocracy. Oh,
line.
fuck, this is really true.
Yes.
Oh, shit.
That's
Josh,
a banger.
I mean, if
Number
we're
one.
being like super honest, it would be Harry Potter. But I think a better answer that's more contentious is Blade Runner. Blade Runner
Okay.
is the one movie that I always think of for like crazy quotes, or like I'll just be sitting there and I'll think all my memories will be gone like tears in the rain. It just like randomly will hit me.
I have a Blade Runner poster behind me, actually. The Tears in the Rain
Oh.
scene. Actually,
That is a great movie.
That's a good
Damn.
movie.
That's a classic, and
Nice.
they did so good with the sequels.
It was a good
Yeah,
sequel.
the sequel's actually really good. Surprisingly, I was so worried.
Wonder
but
why. I wonder why you
I
like
mean,
it. I don't know.
I mean, because I'm in it, but literally me.
Mine's easy. It was Braveheart. Always been
Braveheart.
Braveheart.
Really?
Saw it in the
Film.
theater.
Never
Number
seen
one.
Braveheart.
That's a good
The
one. Actually,
best.
That is a great movie. And
you haven't seen Braveheart? Wait, you haven't seen
Never seen
Braveheart?
Never seen Braveheart.
Holy shit!
The only scene I remember from Braveheart is a bunch of dudes in blue mooning and then getting shot in the ass with arrows.
Yep.
That's all I remember. That's all I know about
Classic.
Braveheart.
Yeah, that's the
There's
best.
a little more than that, but yeah.
All right, number
I'm pretty
two.
sure that's
boss.
most of the war.
2 and 3.
Number 2 was definitely, I think Idiocracy is good, but that one's like not real. It's just a funny movie. I think Grandma's Boy is my number 2, just because it's, frankly,
They
the
based it
main
off of you,
character-
didn't they? They based it off of you,
Dude,
right?
Honestly, the older I get, the more I sort of became Alex, because that's my name, and he designs video games, and I'm just thinking to myself, holy fuck, this is. And I'm staying with my parents, my mother, I'm taking care of them, which is another story that was a crazy thing that happened today. But yeah, it's like, holy shit, am I Grandma's Boy? Is this real? But
Get your
it's
black
also a
trench coat.
fantastic fucking movie, dude. That is a 10 out of 10 movie if you haven't seen it. Yeah, that's the wrong character. First off, that's the
Wait,
black trench coat. No,
I mean, that could be you too.
No, don't think. No, that's the bad guy. That's the bad guy of the movie. Alex is the
Oh,
good guy.
Alex is a good guy. What was the bad guy's name? The
He's-
robot guy.
Fuck.
The robot guy.
The robot. He's right though.
Yeah, he's right. It's just funny.
I can't remember his name now. It's gonna
Yeah.
drive
It's
me
been
nuts.
so long since I've seen that. Holy cow.
Yeah,
Same.
but that character was the bad guy. JP, yes, JP.
That's right. Yes.
This is fucking obnoxious. He did such a great job being obnoxious, but that movie was like perfect. It's like
I always wondered
Dance
what the
Dance
script said.
Revolution.
Like, what did the script say that made him like? What if they said do whatever you want, just fully improv, or if it was scripted? I don't know. I always
Be
think
the
about
most obnoxious asshole you can be, and he really excelled at it. But that fucking movie was perfect. It was just, I thought to myself, this is not going to be my life, because he obviously gets the hot girl and she's his boss, and I'm like, oh, okay, it's a little bit more fantasy, but owning a tiger or a monkey would make more sense.
That could be
probably
you,
that
N
way.
boss.
Yeah,
That could be you.
It could be.
it could be. I just thought it was
Mhm.
absolutely perfect.
That's great.
ButchCon next month. Ken will be there.
Let's sure definitely be
Yep,
there.
we'll see you there.
100%. See you there.
2 months.
Ken, number 2.
Make sure. Drive. Yeah, sorry. This is
Yeah.
easy. I talk about it all the time. Drive's like one of my favorite movies. And I don't even think it's a good movie. It's just a simple movie that's super stylized. And I think I'm just a Ryan Gosling shill. So I will
It's
just
really well put together as far as style, though. Like,
Yeah,
the
yeah,
actual, like, for the things that they did,
it's
like
so
with the
simple.
contrast and colors, it's great. It
I
really
could
is
have wrote that.
filmography.
I could have wrote that script like when I was 10 if I wanted to. It's like there's nothing.
I
There's,
drive.
there's no meat on the bones of the movie. It's just a good time to watch. Just stylized.
How much-
cool.
The meat is what you make of
Good
it.
music.
So I haven't seen that. How much different is it from Baby Driver?
Oh, way different. Way different.
I had
It's-
never seen Baby Driver.
Baby Driver is really good. That's a really good movie. Actually,
It's good.
That's right up
It
with
is
that one.
good flick.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's a good one. Now this is like one more serious, less funny.
Okay.
More dreamy.
Gotcha.
But
Josh.
Drive's my number 2.
Probably Ready Player One. It's just like my home
interesting.
comfort movie, and I watch it at least once a year. The music, the way they transformed the book, because I loved the book. I read it when I was on deployment to Kyrgyzstan, and it was just so cool and super nerdy. And like they opened it up to the generalized public, and they brought in like all the pop culture. And I feel like if you played games and watched movies in like the 90s and 2000s, that movie really like reached out to you. It was like, hey, this is what virtual reality could be. And if like the world was shit, but this place was really fucking cool and like everything took place there, I also think it's a more realistic look at VR. Like if VR had become what like Apple wanted it to be, and like all these other companies where it's somewhere like you can work and there's real estate and like events and games, it's like a lifestyle, which I don't think it's. I think we've. What do you guys think? Like now with VR where it is,
I
like
got a lot on that.
I feel like we're not going to be there. Like that's gone, dude. Like the VR like had its time and it like fucked up and it failed, and like maybe there'll be a resurgence way in the future.
Hold on.
They're not giving
the problem
up.
was it was a war.
Give it time.
My goodness. I was going to say it's not the same thing. There was two different versions. All right, just to jump into exactly what you're talking about. It was VR and there was AR. All right. Pokemon Go was AR. Ready? You know what I'm saying? Like augmented reality takes your existing scenario and adds to it. Virtual reality didn't really push off because it bubbled you, right? You had to have your set
tethered
space
for a long time.
Yes, you're tethered, your set space. Augmented reality and VR have been kind of at like one-upping each other. That's why it was so cool when Pokemon Go came out. It was kind of a mix of AR and the future of that. But I think overall AR is definitely winning. It's going to win out in the long run. You're going to have more like crazed out awesome stuff with that in your existing world, like the Apple Vision or whatever. And I don't know how the fuck is that the one with the goggles that make you look like an asshole.
Yep.
But you can interact. That's the point is that's augmented reality. Like your computer screens don't exist for anybody else, but that's for you, and it's in your existing space, so you don't have to worry about like being too far disconnected. That's the one that's winning. That's the one that's going to take out. VR was good, but the problem is it's like limited on that front. So yes, I mean I have the fucking HTC Vive. I've been a VR fanatic for a while. So, but that's one of the things I want to get back into as well, is playing Beat Saber. But that, AR and VR,
or that Ghost of Tabor game, like the VR Tarkov game.
The Tarkov, I was looking at that.
My friends play that; they love that shit. That shit looks.
Those are physically exhausting, motherfuckers.
Yes.
Let me tell you, that is actually exhausting. You are moving around like this is VR. Like you want to peek around that little fucking bush, you have to shimmy your little ass head out and kind of peek it and go, oh shit, they're shooting. You know, it gets you're on your hands and knees crawling sometimes. I remember playing Phasmophobia and nearly shitting my pants when I got attacked. I actually fell through an in-game wall because I moved so far backwards. The game headset was like, you're here. Okay, you're over here. And I fell from the bathroom of safety into the hallway where the creature was attacking.
What do you guys think
eyes
about?
Were watering. I was like snotty.
Dark and Darker in VR. Would you play it in VR?
It'd be exhausting, dude. Holy shit.
It would be fun.
It would be fun. Like some of those melee sim games in VR look really. The technology is just not there
Blade
yet.
and Sorcery.
That's a real thing. Blade and Sorcery.
Yes.
It's
fun as fuck.
There was a bow game that was really awesome, and when you could have like a teleport arrow, so you could like teleport yourself and then shoot everything around you, and then like teleport. And that game was so fucking cool. But after like 4 days of playing, I was like, I don't even want to play that. Like, it is worse than going to the gym. I'm literally sweating. Like my goggles are like pasted to my face, and when I take them off, like my hair's all fucked up. And like
I just bought new like
marks.
goggle things. Yeah, because it just marks your face. I remember when I would take my I do like a 10-hour stream of Beat Saber. And when I would like take off, I'd have like this fucking nice red raccoon around my face. Yeah, it looked like a little raccoon. It was fucking awful. Yeah. I'd have to shower and like take the nice cold shower. I was a sweaty mess, man. My heart rate monitor, I think I got up to like 177 was the peak during that.
Jeez.
Scary. I mean, I'm fucking trying to find light switches in the dark. That's what it looks like. Drunk ass stumbling through the room, but it's fun.
Yep. Yeah, it still needs some more time to bake. I don't know if we'll just bypass it entirely. I could see Neuralink just doing the straight brain computer interface, projecting right into your freaking mind. I could see that happening.
Well, it sounds like VR
really good.
It needs way more like computing power and way more
energy
to make that. Or augmented reality just seems like way more applicable.
It's easier to integrate.
Yes,
and it's more like user friendly than the full immerse and removal of everything around you.
People like my grandma could do some AI, but like I don't see my grandma hop on Beat Saber.
She won't be doing no VR chat.
No VR chat. I mean, who knows?
Josh, what was your number 2 movie?
I think, did you get Ready Player One?
Yeah.
Oh, he did. Yeah.
You're up. Yeah.
It's on you.
For me, this kind of out of left field. Was and is A Few Good Men.
Oh, that's a classic. That's a good one.
Yeah.
Old,
Damn.
great movie. Everything about that. I don't know why I caught that at a time in my life where I just thought that was phenomenal. I don't even know why I sat down to watch it. It wasn't something I would have normally watched. I think my parents might have been watching it when I tuned in. At the time that I saw it, I wasn't a big Tom Cruise fan or Demi Moore. But holy cow, the acting and the writing in that movie was just on point. So many memorable scenes and quotes. Like if it's ever on, if I catch it, like, well, now that we all have streaming, it's not like something's just on. You have to actively choose it. But back in the day when you had to like flip through channels, if it was on, I would always watch it. So that's my number 2.
That's a super good movie. I love that movie. Actually, I forgot about that. I should rewatch that one of these days. That's a good one. That's a
Number
peak Tom Cruise.
3. Oh, dude, yeah, really good. And Boss
number 3. Oh yeah, and Boss first. I'm thinking. Yep.
Yeah, no. You go ahead, Ken.
No, I'm thinking. No.
Fuck, dude.
All right, I'll go first on this one.
Yeah, go.
This one's a classic, so it's easy. Is The Godfather? Because for me,
wait, which one though?
Number 1, Godfather 1. Yeah, for me it was formative, and it was like watching it with my dad. And then I went on this huge kick where I read all of the books. I can't remember the author of that. I can see like he's like holding the puppeteer strings, and it's like The Godfather on the book title. But that guy went on to write just like so many mafioso books and assassins and like the Code of Honor. And I went from that to, if you guys haven't seen it, but you like The Godfather, there's a really good movie. It's super long and multi-parted. It's called like Once Upon a Time in America. And so these kids immigrating from like Ireland and Scotland, and then they come to America and they just have like little shit lives living in the ghetto. But they grow up and they become basically a mafia, and it's like betrayal, and it's their entire lives. Like the whole first movie is partly when they're just kids, and then like they come at odds, and there's like different mafia families, and like them remembering back to when they were kids. It's almost like an anime with the sort of drama and the remembrance of how like good times used to be, and like kind of forgiving each other for their sins. Yeah, Mario Puzo says my chat, and really, really good. So
Yeah.
that one, I feel like that's a safe answer, and most people probably like that movie.
That's good.
So.
I love The Godfather. Like, I'm New Jersey Italian. My family's very Italian. Like, if you go to Thanksgiving dinner, you go to my uncle's house or my grandma's house growing up, either one of the Godfather movies was on television, or like Goodfellas or Reservoir Dog. Just all these like, one of those is always on the TV at one time. Like, there's Godfather posters and the pictures. Like, I love those movies. Good choice, Sobad. Did not expect that from Sobad.
Yeah,
Quality entertainment.
That's a good one. What about you, N Boss? Because I'm still thinking.
Dude, I'm still thinking, man. I need to pull up like a list of movies because I can't think.
All right, fine. I'll name a couple of them.
Yeah, go.
Arcane,
I'll go.
save the day.
Let's do it.
So I'm not choosing deliberately, and I'm glad none of us really have. Although Josh, you threw out Harry Potter at the beginning, and I think you retracted because it's part of a series. I know I'm leaving out like Star Wars, Lord of the Rings, Matrix, Indiana Jones. Like all of those are, for me, like goes without saying. Those are just freaking incredible. But when you have a series, it's a multi-part story, so it's hard to narrow it down to just one movie. So for me, this one's another kind of obscure one. 1993 Tony Scott film called True Romance. It
True Romance is great.
Absolutely insane. If you go back and look at that cast, it's Christian Slater, Gary Oldman, Dennis Hopper, Christopher Walken, Brad Pitt. Like, it is absolutely nuts how many big name. Val Kilmer's in it too. Like, it's just nuts. And such a well-written movie, just fun, crazy plot. Like, it's definitely not a kid's film. Like, it's just, it feels like, I thought it was a Tarantino movie. Like, when I went, 15 years without seeing it, and I was telling somebody else about it. It came up in conversation not too long ago. And I was like, yeah, you remember that movie? I'm pretty sure it was Tarantino. No, not it. It feels like a Pulp Fiction type movie, but it was directed by freaking Tony Scott, Mr. Top Gun himself. So, yeah, that's something.
I wasn't expecting that. That's a throwback. I have seen the movie new. That's a under the radar movie. Definitely recommend watching that.
I think I got it. I think I figured it out. I finally got there. It took me a while, but I don't know how many people are going to get this one. This is an older movie. Uncle Buck.
John
We're
Candy.
Googling.
Holy shit.
Uncle Buck. Yeah.
What was the
that's
86 or what was the state called?
I haven't seen this one.
Oh, dude, this is a fucking classic, man. I remember growing up watching it. I didn't realize it now, but I'm also becoming Uncle Buck. Yeah, I get to be the cool uncle. It's fucking awesome, dude. Yeah, it's definitely it's a great fucking movie. A great movie.
Guessing this
They
is a
talking
comedy.
true romance? Yeah, it is. Well, I mean, yeah, it's a comedy.
All right, so down. He's one to watch.
It's a fucking yeah.
What's it about though?
Oh,
What's it about? Give me the synopsis.
All right. Basically, guy's leaving town, calls his brother in to watch the kids. Brother's, got no kids. He's the cool uncle, and he's taking care of the nephews and nieces and the shenanigans. Is John Candy. He's a fucking hilarious dude, but it's like he is not the father, but it's just if you ever got any nieces or nephews, it's perfect. Or like family that a little sister or something. It's a great movie. It's just fucking I can't do it any justice. It's really well put together and enjoyable.
John Candy, a feel good movie, like
combo feel good movie, but like it's like one of the scenes in particular that was fucking pinnacle of performance was this fucking like headmistress of the school, some fucking turd looking rat shit eating old lady, like hair all bundled up, white hair, sits at the desk like this. And she like scolded one of the kids for doing something, and she like called him in, but like instead of the dad coming in, it was the uncle. So he comes in there, he's like, "Yeah, I'm Mr. So and so," and it's she was caught doing this, and he's like, "What is your problem? Like, what the fuck is you disgusting? Like, you're actually gonna say this about this wonderful child? I can't believe you." And he like flicks a coin at her, and he's like, "Get a fucking rat to chew that thing off your face," and like comes out, and it's like, holy shit. He fucking just shreds this fucking. She's like an absolute prissy bitch, and it's like he was drawing in class or something. Just shit you would normally get in trouble for back at those schools. It's just great. It really is like, oh yeah, oh get her. That was a classic.
Yeah, that's a good one. I'll give that a look. See, I want a nice feel good movie.
It does. It ends very well. It's good times.
All right, Ken. The anchor.
Come on, you've had all day.
I don't even. I still don't fucking know.
Dude, it was hard to get there, but I got there. I believe you can too.
So I often find myself rewatching this movie. It's like it's not a newer movie, but it's not old either. That's like The Big Short. Are you guys familiar with The Big Short?
Yeah.
About the 2009 housing crisis.
Mm-hmm.
Brad Pitt, Ryan Gosling, of course. I mean,
Whoa,
yeah.
uncharacteristic of you.
See a trend developing here.
Yeah, but it's like a super well-made movie about the 2009 housing crisis and like how corrupt the bankers are, and goes in like depth about the economy and stuff. Super interesting movie. Love that movie. It'll make you think. It'll make you realize how gross humans are. So definitely give that one a look.
Yeah.
I don't think any of us like brought up any like horror movies.
Thank you for smoking. That's
or
a good
sci-fi
one.
movies.
Thank you for smoking is a really good movie. It was it's another one on that kind of vein. Have you seen that one?
No, I haven't.
No fucking way, because it's got the handsome guy in it.
Ryan Gosling.
He's pretty handsome. I don't know what his name was, but he's handsome.
All right.
Thank you for smoking is a fucking classic. It's on that same vein though. It's basically like, holy shit, people are fucked up, because it's like the congressional hearings regarding smoking killing you, and the guy's like, well, yeah, everybody knows that. It's like, well, you guys argued that it wasn't. It's like, no, we argued that you were killing yourself in a unique way. It's like all this fucking back talking nonsense to justify years of tobacco and all this crazy shit. And it was a really good movie. Like the guy that plays the guy that's basically the punching bag is so perfectly cast. It just you're like, holy shit, you just told me that I'm killing myself. Aaron Eckhart. Yeah,
he was Two-Face and Joker, wasn't he?
Yeah, you're like, I
Yeah.
fucking can't. He was Two-Face. Yeah, he was Harvey Dent in the Batman remaster.
Can he be trusted?
Fucking shit.
Yeah, that's a good cast.
It was
Rob Lowe, Katie Holmes, Sam Elliott, J.K. Simmons, William Macy. Like, that's pretty legit cast.
William H. That guy's been in a lot of shit, and he always plays something fucking like. There's no guessing what you're gonna get out of him. It's like I was talking about that Walton Goggins earlier from he's the Fallout Ghoul.
Mm-hmm.
But he also
he's
played,
great.
Yeah.
He played the hooker in Sons of Anarchy or something. I can't remember. I just remember seeing him with very nice boobs, and I was like, oh, okay. And he fucking played that role perfectly. And I've seen him in like Justified, where he's a Southern boy and you don't take no problem from nobody, you know. And it's like, holy shit, man, just goes through like it's nothing. Just mold him into the perfect role every time.
He was super good in American Ultra too. I've seen that one. He plays like the
I've seen that.
like
haven't seen
a brainwashed fucking killed person. I don't know. Very, very cool movie. I'm not gonna break that one out. It's a good movie.
Excited.
Yeah. He's very every role he's in. He's always something weird and different. He's actually such an underrated actor. That's a good.
We're gonna find that. We are gonna do the Deadpool day. We got to get a Deadpool day. Deadpool Wolverine day. Get the boys in. Watch that shit.
Now pirate it.
Down.
Is what he would say if he was pirating it. But
See, I do this thing where I pirate a movie. I'll watch it, and then I'm like, this movie's sick, and then I'll go watch it in theaters. I did that with Dune. I did that with like Star Wars.
I haven't seen Dune yet. I haven't seen Dune 1 or Dune 2.
Yeah,
I played the shit out of those.
Oh,
yeah.
Yeah, Dune's great. I almost said Dune because but I was like,
yeah,
it's too soon.
That was
it's too
really
soon.
close. I know. Yeah, I have anti-recency bias on that. Yeah.
No, I think they're good movies, but they're not top movies.
I wouldn't know.
Two's close, man.
Looks interesting.
I don't know. Hot take. Like they're good
I
movies.
love sci-fi. I love sci-fi.
So do I.
And those
like
movies were just really good in the theaters too. Like they're just visual masterpieces.
Yeah, visual and sound masterpieces. They were
I
intense.
have to check it out.
I don't think we mentioned any horror movies.
No, I was gonna say
don't-
Event Horizon was like
them.
the perfect.
That was a good horror
blend,
movie.
Shit,
like
that's a scary
sci-fi
movie.
horror.
Yeah.
It doesn't have to
Event
be.
Horizon.
It just happened to be a horror movie. I feel like that was a sci-fi movie that like doubled as a horror movie.
Oh,
It's like,
I love
yeah,
sci-fi.
this could
So
very well
freaking
be
good.
just sci-fi.
I don't like horror
have-
movies at all, but I love sci-fi horror
Yeah.
movies. So Event Horizon, like Hellraiser, I love stuff like that. I think my favorite horror movie, I don't know if you've seen this one, it's called Pandorum. I think it was like 2007.
Yeah,
Like,
it's a great movie.
Yeah.
It's very alien-esque, but like
Yeah.
I like
shit.
the Cube, like the
That
OG
was scary.
That
Cube.
was good. Yeah.
The original Cube was scary, and then it became like this weird fucking 80s like ripoff of itself. And I don't know what the fuck happened. The Cube had this like stark and staggering downfall into almost comedy of
Yep.
like just the most weird shit. But like the first one was like actual horror, the second one horror, the third one's like they brought in like some zany fucking pirate character that's like a general and shit, and all these other cast of like nobody asked. It's like it's about the Cube. Now it's about everything around it. And it's such government facility. Nobody cares. It was cool when it had the mystery. Now it's gone. You've ruined it.
Speaking of Pandorum,
Scream.
if you liked that, Ken, you should watch Scavenger's Reign on HBO.
writing that down right now.
It's an animated series that comes from like a really, really like deeply graphic sci-fi comic book. And I think it appeals to a wide range of audiences. Like it's fucked up, but it's beautiful and it like makes you cry a little bit, it makes you scared a little bit. It's a really cool movie.
I think the best sci-fi show on all TV so far, if you actually like sci-fi and just want to be sci-fi ridden with great story, I was The Expanse. That was it.
That was
the
my
pinnacle of
favorite
sci-fi.
sci-fi show of all
That's a
time.
great
Yep,
sci-fi
it's
show.
the
It's just
best.
Perfect ride. I was like,
Yep.
oh, all right.
It was like based in reality for a long time, so you felt like that
It's
could
still-
be.
I would say it's probably pretty based in reality, but there's a little bit.
Yeah,
But for
they
the
went
most
off the
part, I'm
deep
like,
end, but
well,
yeah, like you're like, okay, that could be what happens with the different
Very well could.
factions and like Earth being this like pinnacle of like resource stealing and
that's
felt-
exact. It's perfect.
felt
It's
real.
like,
Yeah,
I
it's
don't know.
very-
It doesn't. I don't know what you're saying.
Yeah,
That wasn't the
the
part.
belters being oppressed like that. We would totally do that. We would
yeah,
totally.
that's-
100%.
When we talked about what wasn't realistic, I was talking about the blue goo that transforms stuff,
Mm.
not the politics. But apparently, we have different views on what's completely.
No, I was
unrealistic.
saying like I didn't go into what was unrealistic, but like it was
Yeah.
realistic. Yeah,
The Martians being super like militaristic and efficient.
Like,
Like,
it-
Elon would do that.
yeah.
Elon would do that for
Mhm.
sure.
Yep. Yep.
That's what's gonna happen. Yeah.
President
Yep,
Elon.
that
Let's
is-
go.
That is actually my favorite show of all time. Like TV show. That's it. Expanse.
Yeah, it's definitely up there.
It is
But
definitely top 5. I'll put it up there.
Better than Battlestar Galactica. It's sci-fi.
I'd put it right next to it.
Great
Battlestar
show.
Galactica was incredible.
Yeah,
That's hard.
good
That's
fucking
hard.
show.
That's such a fucking weird show. My God, watching
Mm.
it all the way through, even now, I have to go back and rewatch it and still get mad at how everything ends. Oh, Adama, you
Yeah.
bastard.
That's
Yeah,
great.
True Detective season 1 was fantastic.
That
Just season 1. There
was-
is
Just
no,
season 1.
There's nothing else. There's
I
nothing
did.
else.
I didn't hate season 2, but it just
I
wasn't
didn't hate
season 1.
season 3 was okay.
How are
But
you going to
season two was
compete with
diff-
McConaughey's performance? In
Season one is just a
How are
masterpiece.
you going to compete with
It's
that?
so good.
That might be the
It's so
best-
good.
It might be the best season in television. Period. Is True Detective season 1. I
Yeah.
can't think of anything better. Honestly, I
Just the intro, I can hear the intro playing now. It's a banger. It's just fucking perfect. And yeah, his character was it's such a fucking character, man. I feel like he wasn't even in a role. You just like slapped him in there. You're like, just fucking get really high, get shit faced, and talk deep shit. Like, take as many drugs, like, just fucking put yourself in the biggest K-hole, dude. Fucking Rush, man. You know, I was just sitting there, man. I don't know what was going on. Me and my wife at the time, before that, man, that was a crazy experience, you know. We were sitting there on the front porch and just looking at the sky, man, and it opened up on, like, shut the fuck up. What are you saying?
No, to keep talking, actually. Don't shut up.
Yeah, it's just great, dude. And then the one like extended scene with like 3 minutes between the houses and the drugs.
Oh,
I just saw that on Reddit. Yeah.
Oh my
That's
god,
so
that
good.
was immaculate. That was so.
I forgot that was even in that series.
Yeah,
that one was strong.
Great
Game
series.
of Thrones as well.
Yeah, the first like 4 seasons of Game of Thrones.
Yeah, just like the build up and how like if you didn't watch it, it would have just been spoiled because like everybody saw it and everybody was talking about it.
I started like a year and a half late to it. I remember getting the DVDs from a buddy of mine and popping them in like my Xbox and watching Game of Thrones. Be like, oh shit, this fucking shit. I got through season 1. I was like, oh fuck you, and that was it. I went and I had to watch everything else.
Game of Thrones might be the last time I bought DVDs.
I bought it just so I could have it burned for me. Yeah, that was it.
Or like Pokemon Go. Speaking of world events, just like everyone doing it and everyone getting outside all of a sudden. All the cool stories emerging of like people walking off cliffs or like falling into
cool stories. I thought you were gonna say like people meeting up and making friends, but like you went with like the delivery driver that fucking crashed off the cliff because he was catching a chortle or something.
I'm in San Diego, so like somebody literally walked off where all the I can't remember what it's called. They have a parachute and these little like motors behind them and they like fly around parasailing. No.
Okay,
you know what I'm talking about?
Okay, but
anyway, there's this giant cliff in San Diego that's really famous. Everybody goes there to watch them, and somebody just walked off that looking for Pokemon, and so it was like a huge thing. And they're like, "What the fuck?"
Yeah. Why would they put a gym out there?
Yeah, right. To be fair, that is on the Pokemon Go developers.
I think that Butterfree.
Dude, the strip was amazing for that because the strip had like 15 different stops on it you could hit as you walked. Of course, you were in the Vegas heat, and my phone, I remember, it was the only time my phone was ever like, brother, I love you. You can't charge me and use me and put me in this heat. I'm turning off. It was really like, dude, you've overdone it. It's too hot. And like, I remember like holding the sides of my phone and having to like change where I was holding it because it would get so fucking hot that it would actually burn my fingers.
I wonder how many extra batteries and external battery chargers were sold because of Pokemon Go.
Oh yeah, that was a gold rush. And they were selling shovels, you know.
Yeah,
that was when they started popping up in every gas station, like the magical little glass roses that have a purpose no one should discuss. You know, like that shit just starts flowing. Once money's involved, they're like, all right.
Cool. That's probably like when IRL streaming got kind of big too, because people were like taking their phone outside to catch Pokemon and like go take over a local gym or whatever. And so people started bringing like their cameras and their like power packs and like all this shit.
In order for me to like stream and play Pokemon Go, because like I was saying, my phone would melt just by playing it in the hot desert heat. I had to do like I remember calling myself on my iPad, playing from like not the iPad, but an Android pad, like a tablet. I'd call my fucking self on and share the screen and then stream that from my desktop in order to make it work. It was like this fucking massive system of fuckery, and I did it like twice to play Pokemon Go. It was not worth it. Not on the stream. And then I saw that people were spoofing their locations, and that ruined everything. People are sitting there on Twitch just like, all right, now I'm in Paris. Now I'm in fucking Egypt. Now I'm in... Okay, fuck you. They're cheating. Pokemon Go banned them. They're not actually traveling.
When we actually have augmented reality, Pokemon goes and I like have
resurgence,
V2 version of resurgence.
You'll be playing Pokemon Go side by side while another group of players is going with Call of Duty or Halo and shit.
And you actually have to throw a ball at a target.
Yeah,
holy cow!
Break a window.
Yeah,
can't wait for those lawsuits.
Cool, oh man, my room, when I first got my VR headset, my room still has like scuff marks on the walls from letting my family members play it and just punching things or swinging at it. I got like a semi-scary horror game with a bunch of zombies. It's like Call of Duty zombies, but they get progressively more horrifying and big. And I have like this one black streak where my brother fucking flailed like this and ended up just boom, just punching the wall as hard as he could with my my joystick.
I put my hand through the ceiling. Had to replace the ceiling tile. Yeah.
I hit my fan once when I got attacked. I was going through a sewer level and there were spiders that were coming down from the ceiling, and I heard the little chittering of the spider legs above me, and I look up and it's coming down from like the sewer top, and I was like, my fucking hands hit the fan. I was like, son of a bitch, man. That was clipped. That one was there is an old ass clip from like 7 years ago of me punching the fan. Not a great time.
Man, my favorite So Bad clip was, I'm surprised So Bad didn't bring it Bless Online when he was talking about his favorite games, dude.
Oh, the breakdown.
Dude, the mental breakdown. That's how I feel. That's where I feel like So Bad is going now with these Ranger traps. Right, I'm just waiting for the video.
Mace, I've been
bringing us full circle. Here we go. This is perfect.
I've been counting the trap deaths. We are at 414 deaths to traps. I've died once.
It's been 3 years, dude. How long do I need to be rooted? 20 seconds? What the fuck, dude? How can an ice spell be 0.5 seconds? And I'm like, wow, that's strong. And the goddamn infinite ranger trap. No.
I remember I was trying to see, like, where's So Bad? Why isn't he online? I go to your channel and I see the most recent clip was featured and made by you, and it's like fuck traps 1v, and like the clip starts with you being chased by this barbarian.
By two barbarians.
Yes. And you are shit talking them, and they're shit talking you, and he's just running, stripping down his gear, and the guy's making fun. There is just nonstop back and forth,
just banter,
steaming from them both. And he like turns around, slams the door in the barbarian face, takes 2 steps in a spot that he's already run by like 16 times, and finds a fucking trap, and he's just like, oh shit. He's rooted. He's like, oh, okay, gets the trap out, still talking shit. Door opens, takes 2 steps, fucking second trap hits him. And at this point, he knows he's fucked. He's like, oh yeah, fuck you. You guys are both
dumb fucking cunts. You trash rocks for brains.
Trash, you know?
Oh my god.
I watched that clip. I was like, well, that's why So Bad's not on it. And like,
I've been raging lately. Like every time at the end of stream, something happens. I don't know. Another one, I got stuck in the goddamn elevator. I had like Grim Smiles and Brave Hunters and like Frostlight Gloves, and I'm beating the shit out of a warlock. Like I fucked him up. I hit him like 5 times with my Viking sword. He blew Phantom Eyes. I jump onto the elevator as he pulls the switch, and I just get stuck. I'm just sitting here. I'm like, don't do me like this, dude. And he just starts attacking me. I'm like, don't kill me like this. This is fucked up. You know I played better than you. And he kills me, and I was like, fuck this game, dude.
I don't want to see that.
God damn it.
I haven't been stuck in the elevator yet. I've seen clips or pictures. Seen pictures.
I was just screaming Iron Mace. What's funny is the next day I logged in, and I was fighting a rogue who vastly outplayed me. Hit like all his HCBs, hit his throwing knives, and I jumped down there one shot, and he got stuck. And he was like, don't. I was like, I'm not going to, dude. I've been in the same situation. And another barbarian breaks the door next to me, so I have to run away, and he kills the rogue. As I'm running away, I was like, I'm so sorry, dude. I'm so sorry that's happening to you. Like, oh my god. You know what it is? It's a lack of fucking empathy, because everyone runs into some just dumb shit in Dark and Darker, and when it happens to someone else, and your first thought is like,
you're like,
I'm doing this. Like, oh god, it feels so
dude,
bad.
it's hard, but even there are some moments where I even see that shit, you know, and as much as I love to help somebody, like I see them bully somebody, and then they're in a position of complete and utter like submission, and I'm thinking, oh, okay. I could
like
be
the high road
person here, but you know what? I'm gonna leave that for tomorrow. You're done. Like we're on. It's over for you. You fucked around. It's time to find out. Oh, those
Iron Mace.
That quote. I'll tell you that Soma's one to sandwich quote. Jay's "Am I Still Alive?" Those 3 probably are the most iconic Dark and Darker quotes.
I don't remember "Am I Still Alive?"
I haven't heard that one either.
Oh, that's Jay. Yeah. Am I still alive?
Yep. That's pretty good.
Was he in the game, or was he just like high as hell? I don't know what the hell.
It could have been anything.
The context.
No context needed.
I just remember that night that Jay had been on for like 16 hours, and he ended up raiding me and finding out, like, it started with me and Solar Bear playing druids and just going around helping the Timmies, right? And one of the matches, a rogue comes up to us and does. And so I'm like, oh, all right, turn into a chicken, start, and then Solar Bear pops into a chicken, and we just start squawking. I mute my in-game sound, turn the music up, and just keep squawking. Next thing I know, I get a J raid, and everyone's like, "LOL, that was Jay." I'm like, "What?" He's like, "You son of a bitch." I was like, "No fucking way, dude. It was him. I was squawking at Jay the entire time." And he's like, "All right, I'm fucking logging off, boys. I'm done. I'm out of here. I'm fucking ending stream." And I was like, oh.
Consequences, bro.
This
So
is
you
fucking
did?
hilarious. Yeah, but I got the raid. So you know what? At the end of the day,
Worth
fucking
it.
winning. It was just fucking, he came back. He tried to log in and find us in the match, but I think he ended up dying. It was fucking hilarious.
Oh man, LG is so good.
Yeah, I'm excited. I'm actually like, I'm going to be going in and doing that again. And I want to drag people to kill the bosses.
Like previously, like, you know, me being the guy who plays in groups a lot, like when I just didn't have people to play with, I'm like,
you don't play. I'm the
I
same,
just
but
don't play. Yeah.
I just solo. Like I'm the like you don't play. I would just be like, fuck it, I'm gonna solo, even though I play the class that, you know, for history's sake was not really a solo available class. To clarify, you know, I played it when it was before it was cool, you bastards.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, now that I can actually like group up with people and I don't have to look for people to help, I literally can just walk around and be like, oh, here's my button for finding people to help. Sometimes you get, you know, sweaties that are like, oh, you know, well, let's just fight. And I'm like, whatever, we'll go around and wipe the lobby. I don't care either way.
That's fun too.
I'll help them PvP. Yeah, I'll help them PvP. We've gone around and like, we ended up, we found a squad, killed one of them, and they were like, please, no, please don't kill us. We're all so new. I was like, we can't kill them. And then we got attacked by a squad that was just like hyper aggressive, like fucking ran us down. And there's 5 of us, and we're like, go res your friend, you know, like go res your friend. We'll take care of this. We ran down the squad, but the guy, he didn't want to go res his friend. Then I felt like an asshole because it's like, oh, they're gonna see us hanging out and they're gonna be like, you fucking teaming fucks. I was like, no, leave, please let me fight them.
Did you see the screenshots of the report on me when me and Odin?
No.
We were a group. Were you there for that? I don't know if you're there.
Yeah, I was there. That was
okay,
me.
Yeah.
That's yeah. We were like, you guys actually ran at us like psychopaths while we were just chatting, and we let them. Like, you're sorry.
Yeah,
you know.
Context. We found some Timmy teams. We found 2 Timmy teams of those 9 of us. We're just waiting in the center of Crypts to go on red and kill the boss, and we're just like chilling, being friendly. And this team just like runs in on us like a buff, like a geared buff ball at normals, which you know are already you're cringe. And they run in and they just get destroyed by 9 of us, and then they put it in a report to Iron Mace saying that this well-known streamer is teaming with his audience.
Stream sniping is yes, it was all audience, and we had all. I think we hit our match queue for that, so it's like it was clearly completely.
And Odin got the ticket, and Odin was there. It was so.
Odin was our third. Yeah,
it was just like holy shit.
It's like I was there. Unfortunately, I can confirm there was no pre-teaming involved whatsoever, as we had just queued into random matchmaking. You know, like he was basically like, yeah, there was no pre-teaming. It was just sorry that happened, but we even offered to give you your shit back too. And it's like, okay,
yeah,
it happens.
I mean, no more of that. You know, that would be LG. So
yeah.
Find more people. I'm just gonna feed and save their lives. I found
I hope my RNG team runs into your RMG team and we just kill the shit out of you guys.
See, I found the best place to get the Timmies. All right, I know the untapped source with the highest Timmy return rate, and that is by far always been the ice caves. Every single complete new player that doesn't know what they're doing, if they're queuing into a trios and have autofill on, that motherfucker is dead. Okay, they are already dead. If they show up and they get me as a teammate, oh, they're making it.
I play Goblins.
Get out of that run.
I go to the unofficial arena.
I had a guy try to walk towards the room with the Yeti, and I had to physically like block him and like shake my cat, you know, like do the no like 50 times before he finally figured it out. When he turned around and walked to the other door, I get, you know, the up and down like the yes, and then he gave me the yes, and I was like, we're communicating. It doesn't matter what language he speaks. He speaks the in-game spasm. We're good. It's just the way you communicate with Timmy. Just constantly just keep shaking no. He was walking right towards the Yeti spawn, and I knew that Yeti was going to bully him.
Know? Like so, I get into games with people that don't have VoIP on. You can tell they don't have VoIP because of the mic thing. But you type to them and you tell them to turn on VoIP. That's what I've been doing. And turn on.
Dude, that's big brain. Holy shit! Why have I never tried that? I did this for 12 hours, and you're telling me just tell them to turn on VoIP. I even asked them in the chat. It's not like I didn't acknowledge the chat existed. I would always just say need any quests.
Is chat on by default?
Turn on VoIP, you dumbass.
I think chat is,
yeah. I think
chat,
it is.
I think chat's
I don't
always
think you
on.
can turn chat off.
It's on by default, yeah.
I was gonna ask. I wonder if the Dark and Darker Discord VoIP channels have been getting a little bit more action since random matchmaking came online. Need to check that out.
I've
I imagine.
never. I've
That would
spent
be
so limited
that would be
time
the
in that
go-to,
Discord.
right? Like just pick your own number. Like, hey, I'm gonna be in party chat 99, 69.
Yeah, just type that in chat as the
420.
first. Everybody, you join in. You know, like you load into the match and you're just like P99, and then it's like, oh yeah, he means party group 99, and then they all jump in
Yep.
Discord or something.
Yep.
No, it's not a bad idea. I just use the in-game VoIP. It's totally fine. But yeah,
Yeah, I use the in-game.
the
When you switch from
proximity.
proximity, when you switch it over to party chat, if they're in prox chat, it like talks to you like you're next to them, which is
Mhm.
nice. Even though you're not, I thought that was pretty cool.
Oh, really? You don't have to be.
Yes.
You don't have to be prox. Okay, that's.
What about
Yeah.
pings? Is it finally time we get some pings?
No, I don't want pings. That's
I
too
want pings.
casual. I think pings is too casual. I feel like there's a reason that they have directions, and the reason that they don't have a big full mini map into full expansive map is because they wanted to make it feel more hardcore. I'm not sure how it does, but at the same time, I don't want pings. I think that's too much.
I don't hate
I like the
pings.
frustration of being like, "There's a fucking barb behind you." Like, who's you? And
I mean, I'm not like ride or die for pings. Like, I think pings would be cool. It would be fine. But like, I also
Yeah.
see like the point to not have it. It would ruin the immersion of the dungeon a little bit.
I
But
see the
would.
point to not have it, and I also see the point to have it. So I can swing, either way. Doesn't matter.
Oh, yeah?
I wouldn't be heartbroken, but I understand the reasoning.
Yeah, if they were
Yeah, that's
audio
like playlist.
pings, like if you could ping an opponent
Oh fuck no.
and say,
oh yeah, yeah, agree.
attack
Yeah, no,
this
No, no,
person,
no,
Enemy
attack this
spotted.
person.
Yeah,
But yeah,
I'm-
you can't
in
you can't
Overwatch,
spam it. Yeah,
enemy
but
over
you
here.
can't. Yeah, you can't spam it though. Like you can only do it once every 5 seconds or something.
Oh, then you're getting it every 5 seconds. That's
yeah. If
Well,
League
I
of
mean,
Legends
how
taught me
many
anything,
times-
yeah.
How many times are you going to be able to
Doesn't
spam
matter.
it in combat? Like if you can only do it with
until they're
enemies,
fucking
you know?
dead.
well,
Until they're fucking dead. I know.
people will find a way to grief. I know that.
yeah, well, fair
Pings.
enough.
People
Yeah.
are.
I think voice
awful.
lines would be cool. I think I really would like, emotes are cool, and emotes that have like sound effects. You're like the You're like
Yeah,
little
character
Minecraft,
only
like,
quotes would be cool. Yeah,
It'd be
character
cool to
specific.
have like, we already have decided, Mika, Vista, Yulina is pretty cool. So why don't other guys
like
have other?
I have Res. That would be a good voice line.
Oh man,
Yeah, like, I run res.
These are things
I
you
need
can buy
healing,
with for
yeah.
red
I bring
sound.
resurrection.
Yeah,
Like just some cool call outs and shit for the
I
characters.
run
The
res.
barbarian is just like
think about that though too. Like if your teammate died and you just hit like T as
Yeah.
emote and then I don't know why.
Don't
can
worry,
be,
I've got resurrection.
Yeah, we
it's like,
run
oh, shit.
res.
It's just a ping, automated pings that do that and tell them like,
Got it.
Yeah, there's so
Yeah.
many times where people have died in my squad, and then I didn't tell them I had res, and then I'll like finish the fight, and I'll go to revive them,
they
and they're just
DC'd.
disconnected.
Yeah.
They're gone.
Yeah.
That
We need
happens.
we need an icon that shows you when your teammates are still spectating.
It will does.
It
So
is. It's
yeah,
a-
if you get rid of the microphone, the VoIP microphone, if they left, there's no more icon there. But if they don't have VoIP on altogether, you'll never know.
You wouldn't know.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
But yeah, that's how I've noticed. It sucks is like my teammate died. I like killed the enemy team, got third partied, ran around for 5 minutes, came back, revived him. He's just not there. I kill him.
Yeah.
He was wearing cobalt stuff in 124, which was crazy. I extracted with it, returned it back to him, got him in my next match. And I was like, "What the fuck, bro? You
I
left
went
me.
through
You
all
have
this."
no idea what I went through, bro." He's like, "I'm sorry, dude. I know you run res. Nobody runs res in 124,"
True.
which is not
He's
wrong.
not-
But
He's not wrong.
yeah,
I don't even run res.
no, you gotta run res.
Nah. I've been enjoying the plate cleric. Like it folds too many people. Like anything that wants to trade with me in melee, they always lose. When I switch to like the judgment holy strike in the 124s, I just get run down. Or like I'll kill one of them and I get run down by the two. When I'm playing fucking, my current setup for cleric is very beast mode. You can 1v3 pretty nastily. It's wonderful. It feels incredible. But like I said, when I switch to PvE spec and I go holy purification, I try to bring the Timmies through to the boss. I always get fucking killed by PvPers.
Mhm. Yeah,
That
I've learned
makes
it's
me
better
sad.
to be PvP spec on cleric.
It's a
and
crutch,
just to
dude.
get
Yeah.
him through, get
It's
him
a
through.
Yeah.
crutch. Yeah, just run smite.
But you also
it just immediately wins.
like if you're just I just go as much healing as I can. I get like plus 20 healing on like a full green cleric with like overheal and kindness
Oh,
is
dude,
great.
yeah. With in the 124s, like the
Yeah.
perfect setup is like the Cobalt full set, and then you get the 3 magical healing neck, and then the 2 on the rings, and you make up for the loss of advanced healer, and you have like this incredibly strong cleric build in sub 124s. I don't think it dies to anything except every wizard.
I just judge them.
I don't run judge. I never
You're
run
more,
judge.
also, you're in 124. They're not doing much damage. Just I run at them with your shield out.
They're just splash damaging me to death. They don't
Yeah.
even fucking hit. They don't even have to actually hit me. That's the part that gets me. The
You're
splash.
saying you're saying kills for 200. You're fine.
Oh, yeah. Let me sank while I get splashed again and knocked up. The fuckers.
It's been so much fun. God.
It is, and I'm looking forward to it again. Like I said, can't wait to just drag people through. I haven't tried high roller. Have you done high roller queues or just?
I did a little bit. You usually get like
No,
real players.
I was also wondering that. Like, is it
Yeah,
possible
a
to
lot
get
of
the
my-
demigod with random?
Trios
A lot
is
of my
rough.
chat said
Trios
no.
is rough.
Here's a
Duos
YouTube
is not that
series
bad.
for you.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, duos is good. Dual high
Like right
roller
now-
LFG is fine. But
I
I think
bet you ice caves would be perfect. Like I
That's what I
want
was
to do the
thinking,
ice caves
are
high roller,
cribs.
queue in, and just feed my fucking duo AP.
It's just
I think it'd
the
be fucking great.
pre-mades, dude. They're just like
Trios
hauling
is
ass
so
to max
comp
move
based.
speed. Yeah.
see duos is great because I feel like every comp in duos is like viable. You can get any two like
Yeah.
classes and
Yeah.
like, it'd be fine. But in trios, like you gotta have like a cleric. You have to be like a cleric team. You gotta be a bard team,
Hard.
or you gotta be like a wizard team. And like if you don't have like one of those backbones, you're gonna get your shit on.
Does
Maybe
anybody
Q and
have
a
any
triple fighter.
insight? So I talked earlier about whether or not there would be any desire to get like a League of Legends style, like
They
what's
talked
your
about that, yeah.
preferred teammate role, right? And although you guys said no, do you think right now what's happening behind the scenes is that if you're playing a caster, it's trying to pair you up with a front line and vice versa?
No.
No, I was Ranger to Wizards
No.
earlier. I
Yeah,
think it's just totally RNG.
For like
And
4.
every comp works in this
honestly,
game, so
Yeah, I mean, I was doing trios, and I for no more than 4 matches, at least 4 matches in a row, it was me on my cleric and then 2 fighters. Like
The dream.
it was a joke at this point. Yeah, it was like twice it was
WP.
the same guy, and yeah, then it was another completely random. Like it was always 2 fighters for like probably almost 2 hours worth of games, just constantly 2 fighters. It was. I mean, fighter is very meta, but yeah, I don't think there's any like I don't think it was
also
trying to
new
be 2
players definitely
Right,
play
new
fighter,
players,
right?
yeah.
Yeah.
the other issue is if you do like a healer queue that's like, you know, faster, what have you, is you're gonna get like some shit like off healing druid.
Yeah,
that
I'm
is
not
just like, I have
healing.
heals.
I don't heal.
Yeah, or like your cleric will have
Yeah,
sank
yeah.
only, but like all
I'm no
DPS.
spell cleric. No, yeah, you're
Yeah.
no spell cleric or whatever.
Yeah, I'm
that
from
happens in
frontline
WoW.
wizard.
Yeah,
I'm a healer.
yeah, I'm tank
Yeah,
wizard.
I'm
healing
Ignite,
wizard. I
I'm
brought
Ignite.
bandages. Heal yourselves.
I got 100
Yeah,
103
I had a
health.
crazy Ignite Wizard
Oh,
the other
no.
day. You with the crossbow. I was like, holy shit, I'm inspired. The rondel, the ball, and 124 just got
Yeah,
active.
that love Rondell. I just called a
Mhm.
rogue with like full grim smiles, all purples, and I just ignite punched him. Just insta fight, insta cast zap, and then we both started swinging. I was one shot at the end, but I was like, I'm better than a rogue.
Maybe I
Left
want to do
click.
like a pure fire mage where you just say like fireball, explosion, ignite, zap, and like intense focus, and like staff master or something. Just like the pyromancer.
Pyromancer.
Yeah, it's gonna be
Oh,
awful,
man.
but we'll try that out.
It'll be
Yeah,
fun.
man, Wizard's pretty strong right now. I think anything works.
Oh, they gotta
Yeah.
nerf fireball. They gotta nerf it. That
Ah,
buff
yeah.
was stupid.
Splash. Reward
Yeah.
the
Yeah,
actual fucking
yeah.
Splash.
playing of it. It's just
Don't-
annoying.
Yes.
Yeah, the splash buff is crazy. I can't believe they did that.
Yep.
But that's just me.
Agreed.
They're gonna nerf something else on Wizard and break them.
Yeah.
Don't worry.
They'd be like, obviously fireball is the issue, but they'll nerf everything else before that. And then they'd be like, oh, it was fireball this whole time. We had no idea. Then nerf it.
Yeah,
The
they're gonna nerf a
textbook.
couple of charges of it.
They're gonna
Goodbye
make-
to your goodbye to
They're gonna make
Fireball.
Wizard dog shit, but they're gonna release Sorcerer and then be like, "This is the real Magic
Yeah.
class, dual wield Skyrim style, just like fucking Darth Maul or like Darth Sidious." Or no.
It's funny because like Wizard basically turned into Sorcerer because now everyone just plays 5 spell with like damage spells and
Yeah,
people
Yeah,
like, are
and
shying away from
Overload.
10 spell.
Overload,
Yeah, Overload's
yeah.
The
great.
fucking
Overload
it's
for sure.
insane.
That's all I
It's
play.
not fun. Every wizard you fight has many missiles that they don't ever have to hit anything on.
It's great.
Eh.
A Wizard.
Yep. Overload
I mean,
is
6 fireballs, you've won the fight.
Mhm.
It's
As long as you have
responsible
time
for
to get
making-
those back, you can win the next fight as well. Like you are
Oh, no
really
doubt.
like Enma said, you're like really strong until it's time for like a third party or you can't meditate or whatever.
Yeah, that's the power curve during the match changes for those classes, but
Yeah.
not anymore for Wizard. Now Wizard is just always strong. Their reset time dropped dramatically.
I was
For
talking
sure.
about this earlier because we're on the topic of like spell memory and amount of spells. I feel like cleric needs more, like a higher number of heals, but they should be less strong. It feels like you only have like a couple of castable spells, like in one fight, and like sure it's like it's their strategy to being efficient with those casts, but it's just fun to cast spells. So I'd rather just have 5 holy lights, but just cut the healing in half, or have 5 lesser heals, but just make it less. So you
So
spend
they
more
see
time
more
casting.
use during fighting.
Yeah,
Yeah.
more use. Yeah. Also, then
I
like
just-
they're not crazy bursts with one heal. Like you don't see a barbarian who get hit by a holy light and you'd be like, oh, he's full HP now. Like he has to get hit by 2 or 3 heals consecutively to
I appreciate that though. I hate games with the Holy Trinity where you're like if you like basically can't win unless you like super outplay them. Where if they're gonna heal, you're like, okay, like he's full. Like I hate that. And this game has always done a good job of being like, you just push the cleric or you get between them or whatever. Like this is the best game for like the skill. It's kind of like Darkfall where you have
Yeah, I
really
was about to say
skill-based
Darkfall, yeah.
healing and skill-based combat magic.
the problem with healing like in Darkfall is you do the same thing. You want to get in between the guy and the teammate healing
Yeah.
and like absorb the heals.
That's constantly how I win fights whenever I'm doing like, in a big team battle. I'm like fighting you, but I'm shimmying myself like, all right, now you can't get heals. You're completely cut off. And that also usually makes them switch.
Yeah, like they like jump heal you at that point, and yeah, cool.
Yeah, I love those little jump heals. Those feel good.
All right, boys, it is time to get back into the dungeon.
It
Is indeed. It's been a
into
good one,
that.
fellas.
It was a good
Episode
one. Good anniversary,
28
boys. Yes.
in the books. Feels good to be here.
Oh yeah.
Success.
2.5 hours. Holy crap.
Yeah.
Indeed.
I watched
Everybody in the
Scavengers Reign.
chat.
So,
Thank
yeah, I
you.
have it written down. So is it
Yeah.
Rain like REIN or RAIN?
REIGN.
I can't spell. Don't talk to me.
Yeah. Like a
Really
rain
fucking
kings,
can't.
the
He
rain
really cannot
scavengers.
spell, dude. Of course.
Dude, Rain the energy drink,
The
bro.
dude
Come on.
doesn't quest.
Oh
All right, it makes sense. He just can't read. He doesn't know what to get.
I
He's
don't know,
reading to
bro.
the 4th grade level.
Said they need bonds. This guy needs bonds.
very-
Had to make sure.
Where do I get bonds?
Yeah, well, we can end on Ken being a dipshit. Yeah.
We love can do.
All right.
All right, or that. Must not have done that.
Everybody in the chat, thank you for tuning in. We'll see you guys hopefully next week. Worst case scenario, it'll be 2 weeks out right before the end of this glorious season.
Yeah, we'll have to do a big end of season, recap, something along those
Indeed.
lines.
Yep. Yeah, Wipe's not too far away. Less than
Time
a month.
flies. Anyway, good seeing you, boys.
Pleasure.
Later.
Good
Thank
night.
y'all. Have a good one.
See ya.
We'll see you in the next one.